presentation. So, my name is Javier. I'm from Google Development Group, Center Florida. So, this is our website. And let me see. GDG, which is stands for Google Development Group, it's a global network of communities. There are thousands of GDG chapters throughout the world. And basically, we have technologists and tech engineers wanted to connect with local communities to learn and grow. So all of these chapters are run by passionate people in the technology field, and we just want to help out. It's a volunteer basis. We don't get paid for this. We do it because we want to give back to the community. In Central Florida, we have the chapter here. So whether you are a student or a professional or somebody starting a new career, we are very welcoming to learning different technologies of Google, from AI to project management, things of that nature. We believe in the power of community-driven learning. So you come with us, we try to help each other to learn, to be able to improve ourselves in the community, to get back to the community. So we do talk about different forms of technology. Sorry for that. From AI to cloud to AR, VR technologies. We also skill levels like web development, mobile development, and software. We provide this diverse range of topics. Not everything is Google related, sometimes we welcome other technologies from different companies. So what makes us special is that we are open to all. So this can anybody from the background. If you're not even in the technology field, you can come, you are valuable to contribute. The experiences are more than welcome to come and share with us. We run every year a conference called Google Development, DevFest Florida, which we welcome about 35 speakers, 300 attendees. We run this here in Orlando. We'll be running every year. We also run monthly meetups. This is our meetup page. You can find a list of events. Here are our upcoming events, which obviously is out with this one here. We have a Connect, Learn, and Grow for Orlando CodeCamp. So we collaborate with other groups. So CodeCamp is an event that we do every year from the Orlando Dynamic User Group, otherwise known as One Time. So we go with our work. The same thing they do with us. They come for our Dev Fest, they contribute talking or presenting any collabs and any so we're here to learn from you, learn something new, and have a good time, and also connect. We also help each other out when it comes to advancing your career, connecting with other companies, and we give you the tools to be able to accomplish it. That's it. Do you guys have any questions? This is the website is we have another website, Michael.
Google Dev CentralFlorida.org.
So we have that one too. By the way, that's Michael Rosario. He's one of our developer organizers. And then we got Ken Job.
What's the process of joining?
Oh, all you gotta do is just join one of our events. Just come in and hang out with us. We have them in live, sometimes we have them online. We have a hybrid of it. DevFest is live. People come in and we try to provide some of the videos of the speakers in YouTube channel. If you go to the website that Michael just gave us, you're going to see the links for that. We also post class functionality. And it's a good way to learn something new and also to get a real feel of how they the industry is and how to get into it. If you are passionate about learning coding or any aspect of technology, we're here for you. Any other questions?
What's your favorite memory?
Also, Google threw down and also had a Cloud Next event at the same time we have now. So we were able to cover it with them. So man, a lot of people in the industry that way. So it was a great, chaotic, organized event. And it was high pace, and then you learn all types of things now. They can definitely have fun with it. Any other questions?
What are these like events and meetings about?
Once we do have them in the video area, sometimes we'll have them in different offices. They are very nice to provide an office, the conference room for us. We have the videos in there. Usually we have about 20, 30 people come in. We do a lot of online meetup too, because a lot of us are tasty and everything. It's more convenient for us to meet up that way.
What is normally the content that you talk about in meetings? Is it more kind of breaking technology stuff? Is it learning, getting people up to speed on something?
It could be, yes, learning about new technology or presenting an open technology. We do programs, so we can sit down and talk together with create some kind of program or app, or learn about new technology. So we provide this type of tools. What's valuable too is the network. We meet industry leaders and people in the industry, connecting with them. Sometimes this career could be a little bit challenging right now. We're getting into it. Sometimes the networking part is an aspect for you to be able to start your career.
Maybe just to build on that a little bit. Our next event that's on our agenda, again, we're partnering with the .NET Music Group of Orlando. That's a 300-person event over in Seminole State College. And they run a really tight event around web development. Pretty much anything you can think of, they're covering it. They also do a really good job of making kind of a mixer culture where you can bump into employers and yeah, so it's a great opportunity to get your name out there, build relationships.
The nice thing about this type of event is that you meet people from different parts of the world or from the United States. I consider in the development world as rock stars. You get to actually talk to people who probably created some of that technology because they might be interested. So talk to them, how to advance your own skills with that whatever technology. So yeah, this is on the program. We do have a website for DevFest. So this is a website. We collaborate with other chapters, so that's why you're seeing Miami here, but we got Miami, Tampa, Orlando. Trying to help each other out. So we try to help each other out. Do the more speakers or provide for the community. So yeah, definitely one of the most impressive. We also have an event called Women's Tech Makers for that we provide to help also lady friends, if they want to get into the industry, and you can help them out, and also to learn from them.
Okay, so here comes it.
So,
Okay.
this is the whole stuff that we did on
I don't see
September 28th. We have about 250 people actually. And it was held in the Seminole State College. But can show you a video of pretty much what it's all about. I'm not sure if you can hear that. Just music. You can learn a little bit more about, with Google, for the link that you saw there.
All right.
Any other questions?
This is good timing because it is time for our next speaker to come up and tell about Blackwell and Tech, their group and co-founder.
And just FYI, Blackwell Undertake, I've been a member also for them, and they were a very talented sponsor that fest last year.
Yes.
And they are a great group also.
Thank you. I see how you're
Because I was going to put it up over here too, I was going to see.
Oh, by the way, I have some stickers here, so if you guys are interested in getting some stickers for your laptops, some business cards in here. Feel free to grab some.
Is there anybody doing tea here?
Right? Oh, the whole thing is, you know what it is? It isn't even like it's just a connection. It's for like it's like it hates this. Yeah, so you're probably gonna.
Yeah, it does not like your website. It's a library thing.
Is what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, so this it's
I don't like it.
You don't have a connector?
no.
Yeah, I don't have one. Yeah, but no, that's not for this one.
Yeah, that's fine. So listen, can we? Do you want to try to jump on the live? Yeah, I was just a hotspot to my phone to get it. Yeah. Listen, I'm not stressed. I can do this without the websites.
He is the king of presentation, there's no presentation.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine. Trust me, guys. Thank you. Oh, okay, fantastic.
Okay, so the next one that needs to get up is Jesse. Is he here? Okay, he's up there. Great. Now, we're behind schedule because we have this going on here. So Nick is gonna have to be, we're gonna have to keep pushing stuff a little bit until we get to, like, we could probably take this one out for right now and get us caught up. Hey, Jim, you're in front of the camera and it's live. I don't know if you want to be. What's your question?
Nothing, I just was coming over.
Okay.
It's 20 past.
Okay. You don't need any, I've got your presentation.
That's all I need for starters. So what I'll do is I'll start with that, and then I'll transfer.
Everything we're saying is live.
That's okay.
Okay. I'm just like. Hey, Wyatt.
So,
Thank you.
I knew you were
I do a lot of public
joke. I know
speaking.
you're Toastmasters. I'm joking.
Yeah, but I've done
You should join
biggest,
Toastmasters.
I'm going to ask you guys to go back.
the biggest audience I spoke to was 80.
You always need an own tech person, right? That knows all of it.
All right. Like 7 minutes now? Okay. Hi, my name is Jason Francois, and I'm the Starts Director over at Black Millennial Tech, or BOT. We are a nonprofit focused on helping upskill anyone and everyone that is interested in entering the world of tech. Or if you have an idea, if you're creating a startup, we help you create that future. Whether or not it's going to be focusing on your business model or your narrative, we help you get to the end goal, which is, in most people's cases, trying to get investment. This website is just here. Please sign up. We have accelerators that are happening. We have, next week, I think it's Agile, right? So we have like a live in-person Agile workshop that you guys can come to. We just had a Python one. We also have a Python accelerator that's running. So I don't know if the signups are closed for that one. But feel free to always ping the site, see what's there, see what's available. If you have suggestions or you desire to have a course created, let us know. And if there's enough of a community swell for it, we'll do that. So I'm not going to, so I don't really know the history of I was just someone that came on board. VOT existed before I showed up, let's just say that. 2016, on a sunny day, oh man, VOT was, so, VOT is here, again, like I said, to just help the community writ large. What they actually specialize in doing is identifying job segments that are going to be evergreen, or at least hopefully evergreen. So the technology that you learn, we hope will help you at least set yourself up for success, have the ability to take a breath because we all live in fight or flight for the most part, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck. And then once you establish that for yourself and have the visceral change in house, we know that your kids or your family, friends, whomever else that are interested in tech will take the leap as well. And we also hope that also gives you the ability to take a minute and just try to create something cool. BOT has meetups, I want to say every Wednesday, or once a month. See, this is my wife, by the way, so just trust we're gonna catch her meetings, yes. Yeah, with the camera on, she's gonna be like, this is where you messed up, sucking your gut, this is what's BOT has monthly meetups every Wednesday now. They used to be Thursday, but now we do them every Wednesday at Credo or online, where we, again, cover in-person workshops, or we have topics that we feel the community wants to discuss, and then we have the ability for people to come in and unpack them. This is going to be kind of a unique presentation because I'm going to dovetail it into the other organization I'm a part of, and that is Co-Found. Now, BOT decided last year to really focus on helping bring startups into the fold. There was this focus initially on small businesses and contractors, which there is a conference for March 15th. So, see, March 15th, there is a conference for small businesses and contractors, but they wanted to really bring startups into the fold, so they asked us at CoFound to do that for them. And we have a dynamic framework that is focused on founders first having the leverage when they go and have conversations with the investors. And we use data to help you create that narrative that's going to showcase that you actually figured something out and you're not just here selling a smoke show. So we've had some success. We've had companies that have gone on to raise millions. We have people that are still in the market, and we have new people coming into the accelerator monthly. The sign up is evergreen, so just go and sign up whenever you want to. So it's one of these rolling admissions, but we have cohorts that are just kind of suggested. So when we get to a swell or we get to a decent amount, we just decide we're going to close. We've identified the proper companies, we work with them, have a showcase next. So that's really it. This was just to give you this, okay, the showcase. Thank you, listener. The showcase is March 28th, where we've had a myriad of companies that have gone through our accelerator. They're going to come back, they're just going to show off, hey, this is where I am, this is what I've accomplished, and I'm raising come talk to me somewhere on the premises. And we also hope to have some investors that we've identified that have said that they were interested in coming in to start helping Orlando really kind of show itself as having a real tech landscape. So if you are somebody that's interested in seeing what we've created or who we've worked with, I really suggest you sign up for the showcase and come visit, talk, bring your ideas, bring your friend that's always talking about how they have the next Google, do whatever. That's what we're here for. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Because I'm here to answer anything. Yes.
What's like an average size of an investment for one of the startups that you work with?
So the average size for an investment, it varies depending on what your validation is. There's a couple of companies that we had in the early cohorts who were doing relatively decent. So they were making 30K NRR. So their investment sizes range from 250K and up. So it all depends on what you're also going to be doing with that, right? So we have companies that are looking for $2 million early on. They may get $1 million in and then just close off the fundraising cycle because it's just taking too long and just do the work. If you're doing the business of doing business, you also can make up for some of those gaps, and that's kind of what we help you identify as well. There was other questions, yes.
This might be a weird question, but we'll hold it. So, like, you know, if you look at like Apple, like there's Steve Jobs, the marketer, who had to connect with Wozniak, the geek, you know, and that synergy eventually created Apple. Is there anything that we could do as meetups to help the Wozniaks of Orlando, you know, connect with, you know, the more kind of market-minded folks who might connect with the brand?
So to address that, CoFound, and we're going to be working with Bot to some degree in this, plans on rolling out mixers. We know that there's a couple of mixers that have like Orlando and so on, and those are great for visit them, but we want to do something that's more akin to what we've seen in the Northeast. We're originally from Massachusetts, so we really want to see stuff that kind of echoes what happened there, where you would have the visionaries meet the technical acumen. That's what you want. You want the guy that's like coding all night long in the spine to meet the person that's like pie in the sky in Starlight. So, and we bring you together, and in there we hope it sparks a company that has the ability to go talk to somebody during office hours that can then start leading them down the path of creating a viable product. That's what we want. We don't just want you to be like, oh, I did the next good thing, and then pontificate for 6 months and nothing happens. We want to see real companies come out of the way.
Okay, so making sure that we're helping to retweet, echo those mixers.
Not just the mixers. If you feel like, hey, I live too far, or I'm in my own network, or we're a bunch of introverts and we meet online under aliases, just make sure you encourage the next person to try. That's the biggest thing. It's always like no one is willing to try, everyone's too embarrassed. We've had people in the cohort that have sat on the fact that they have platforms the entire time where we're trying to find them CTOs, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. It's too young to be able to scare it. Let's put it out. It's supposed to be that way. That's when you learn. It's supposed to be scary, and it's supposed to be cool to, some kids come out ugly and then they grow up. That's just what we have. That's the reality. So we want people to get more comfortable with that. And if you can do it on your part to encourage that friend that's nervous to just try. I think you're a professor or something? Or you're married to a professor?
Yes, I am.
Okay, listen, I heard part of it. He said Star Trek and I was like, So it's one of those things where you just encourage, right? You want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable to show you their ugly baby and go, hey, we get it to be the next big thing. The worst you can do is not let somebody fail. That's the worst thing you can do. There's nothing, they have to smile.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Are you looking for companies or a particular market, or is it open pretty much?
No, so we are industry agnostic. Although I will say we have some trouble with real estate tech founders. And that is because real estate tech founders understand investment in one way, and trying to get them to understand the other side of it is hard. We've had some founders say, yeah, this is 25K and it'll last you 3 years. That's not how it's not this much. Like you're supposed to say you need $1 million for 18 months and then you're going to go raise again. So it's trying to get them over that chasm. But we are industry agnostic. We're also stage D. We haven't gone beyond that, so I can't honestly say like we'd be great for senior D companies, but we work with senior D companies as well. And if you're looking to pivot, we're also a great place for you to come and have a sounding board of other founders and the people that are leading the program to kind of help you navigate that as well. Anything else? I could do this all day.
That's okay. We have another presenter.
Oh, you know what? I can't do this all day. Thank you guys.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Go ahead. It's supposed to be Nick is supposed to be coming up, I think. Just a minute. No, wait. Jim, what did he say?
12:30 is what he told me. Nick's after me.
I can't read it.
Yeah, Nick's after me.
Where are you? Thank you. Okay, so you're supposed to be now. Yep. Yep. Let me get your PowerPoint pulled up. Okay. It is Jim. Okay, so when you guys get the post survey, you're going to tell me what went well or it didn't. I like brutal honesty, so I know we're not staying on time. It's our first mega meetup, so I appreciate all feedback, just so you know. So we now have Jim Alapet, and he's going to be sharing about 1 million cups and Toastmasters. Combined, it's 2 for 1.
All right, thank you, Isabella. So, welcome all of you, thanks for coming. This is my first IndieNomicon too, right? So a lot of people go, what's 1 million cups? Anybody ever heard of 1 million cups? All right, great. How'd you like it?
It was great.
It was great, isn't it? So 1 million cups has been around since 2012. You just hit enter to change? Enter?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So, 1 Million Cups was founded in 2012 by this gentleman's foundation. He's passed away, but Mr. Ewing there took the idea that entrepreneurs need support. Let's face it, a lot of entrepreneurs are mavericks. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. I started my first business at 12. And it's just something that, I don't know if it's inbred or what it is, but we're here to help. And so what 1 Million Cups does, we're here to help entrepreneurs. And it was all designed on the fact of you build relationships 1 cup of coffee at a time. When we're leading a meeting and sharing with folks in attendance, we always encourage them, look, you're here to network with other people. You never know who you're going to meet. And the great thing is, it's best and most important for you to have one-on-one with a cup of coffee so you can learn about somebody, because they may know somebody that you need to know. So that's the part of it. We meet on Wednesday mornings over at, just up the street here, at Tech Hub at 8:30. 8:30 to 9 o'clock is networking. Come get coffee and donuts, we provide those. And then at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock is typically 1 to 2 presentations. Now, they're not a pitch, but they are an opportunity for you to share your service, product, whatever it is that you're doing, so that you can inform and educate us. You have 6 minutes to do that, and then we have 20 minutes to ask you questions. And then somebody in the audience typically will want to meet with you one-on-one, typically 2 or 3 people that are there. So it's a great way to help you grow, get ideas on how to sharpen your presentation. One of the biggest mistakes that I see most presenters do when they're there is they tend to start in the wrong place. They put examples and stories at the end, not in the beginning. We had a guy there that had created this very cool, like an egg type of a bat for seniors. He developed the idea because his grandmother was in a home, and long story, but he shared the part about grandmother in the end, not in the beginning. That's what you hook people with. Let them know why you're there. We educate, inspire, connect. Also, so the best thing to do is attend the meeting, come, get to see how it works, apply to present, prepare the presentation. We'll give you a coach that can help you with your presentation, how it flows, help you with the timing. And again, 6 minutes, and then you have the opportunity to go. These are just a few of the companies that have actually come through that we've been able to work with and help. I'm sure you're familiar with some of these that you've seen. Some of these have done really well as they go through. So the organization itself is here again to help educate. And when it goes through, it's a quick just Q&A time as you go through at the end. So the presenter shares. It's not time to pitch your business. It's time to educate and inform us what you're doing. Please keep your questions brief. When you have questions, one question at a time. And then any dialogue, we always discuss after the fact. So this is how you can get a hold of me for questions about 1 million cups, and I'm just up here in the front when you come in. So now I don't have slides for the next one, so I'm just going to leave this up because you can connect me with it. How many people have heard of Toastmasters? Okay. Are you guys members of the Toastmasters group? I encourage you to do that, especially if you're going to be out sharing and pitching your project and your idea. It's important to know and understand how to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a little talk to give you an idea of how Toastmasters works. The thing that's amazing about Toastmasters is that there are a lot of different levels and areas of expertise and things that you can learn. They give you learning pathways that can really help you with that. If you start watching TV and you start becoming aware of the newscasters and they're going, and so today we have it gets very annoying when you start paying attention to it. That's not how we should present. We should be able to present without pause. 2 things that can help you grow. So let me give you guys some values. I want to share with you one of the most requested talks that I do. I'm going to give you a smaller version of it, but it's called the 5 hinges. The 5 hinges. I do a lot of consulting. I work with a lot of early stage startup up to emerging growth companies. And what I found very common out of the top leaders and the successful companies that I work with, there are 5 things, 5 keys, I call them hinges, that help them become successful. And every single one of these companies has these 5 things in common. So the first one is be respectful. Be respectful. I know a lot of times you see it when you're out and about and you see people today that are not being respectful. And we're being disrespected if we don't be respectful to others. That's the number one hinge that you have to worry about. And you'll see as we go through this, they build on each other. The second hinge is be on time and be prepared. How many times have you gone to a meeting or waited for somebody and they show up late and they've got some excuse? Understand, and this is critical, if you're late and you're consistently late to meetings, you are totally disrespecting yourself, and the person that you're supposed to be meeting will not respect you at all, whether you think they do or not. And a lot of times people will do that and then they wonder, I gave a great pitch. They wanted nothing to do because you did not respect them, conversely. So show up on time and be prepared. And showing up on time, to me, is you want to be in a room or in an office or wherever you're going at least 10 minutes early, not 10 seconds before you're supposed to meet the person. So if you have to take 10 minutes to walk from the garage to get to where you're going to go, that means you better get on premise 20 to 30 minutes early so that you can be in the office on time. I've got up and left meetings when people don't show up and get a call. Hey, I showed up. Yeah, you weren't there on time. I'm sorry, I had to go. I had other things to do. Your time is worth money. Remember that. That's a very critical thing that you'll deal with. The third thing that you're going to want to do is do what you say you're going to do. I like to call this keep and make small promises. This is one of the best ways that you can build respect from others. And it also can build some instant trust. How does that work? So let's say I like to read. I read a lot. And there's certain books that I like to share with people. That I will say, hey, I've got an extra copy of that. I'll drop it off at your office tomorrow. Or I'll email you some information. Do it. Not now, but right now. When you can. Keep that going. One book that I'm going to highly recommend to all of you is a book called The Slight Edge. It's written by a man by the name of Jeff Olson. Jeff has created 3-4 different $100 million plus companies. The guy is amazing. It's a philosophy. Embrace it. It will change your life. So do what you say you're going to do. The fourth hinge, okay, is finish what you start. So many people start, but they don't finish. Finish what you start. It says a lot about you as a person, and it says a lot about your integrity. And then the final hinge, say thank you and please in that order. So what does that mean? I want to thank you all for being here today. I really appreciate you taking time for me to share with you. And please come visit me and let me know if there's anything I can do to help you grow or protect your business. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Here, I can help you.
All right, so our next presenter, this is going to be a thought leader talk, just so you know. This is Nick Cardona. Let's give it up for Nick. Great, thank you. I'm also not going to make you guys go back and forth between the stages. I decided that was too much. So I'm just keeping you guys here. So again, feedback, share, let us know. We know we're having technology issues too. So you're probably not going to tell us something we don't know. Next one, 1,000 times better. That's the goal. So Nick is going to talk about Web 3 and how is AI being used in Web 3. So Nick, while they're getting ready, is there anything else? Oh, and you're also going to see another startup that he's going to pitch. It's called Local Chefs, not at the same time. Two different presentations.
Thank you so much, Isabel. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing today? Good, good. Okay. So you probably saw me over there for Local Chef, but I'm also the founder of Web3 CFL. We're a local community here that advocates for crypto and anything Web3 in the entire Central Florida area. So I'll kind of start off. I feel like the way most people get into crypto is by finding some sort of coin, some dog coin. Anybody here own Dogecoin? One person? Anybody here own any Bitcoin? Two people, three people, four. Okay, all right. Anybody ever buy Beancoin before? No? Okay. I know that was a big craze lately for crypto, but what I want to talk about today is the current state of crypto and Web3, how crypto is so much more than some of these coins, and what those technologies actually are, and how they can actually affect the world. Because it's much more than Dogecoin, I promise you that. So Web3, simply put, I think Chris Dixon from A16Z put it best, read, write, own. So when the internet first came out, it was hard to interact with it because it was too complex. You could only really read things on there. And then as it improved and it became better, you started seeing apps that made it easier to publish on the internet, like write blogs, post on Facebook, and then now posting videos and pictures and all these kinds of things. And we're moving into the next evolution of the internet, which is where you can own things on the internet. And that's where crypto and Web3 steps in. Now you can actually own money, you can own NFTs, which are not just monkey pictures, they're just technology that allows you to own anything in your own personal wallet, not on a company's website or servers. It's your own, and you can send it to your own wallets all on the internet. So this is new, this is exciting, and I think there's a lot of great applications to this that we'll get into. But some of the basic things that crypto helps with is reducing the need for third parties and intermediaries. So crypto allows you to open up a crypto wallet without providing any information and immediately buying digital money, whether that's Bitcoin or whether that's stable coins, which are just digital dollars that you could send anywhere around the world instantly for almost free. So that allows the people who are unbanked to be able to have an opportunity to bank themselves, right? And be bankless in the meantime. Exchanges. So instead of having to get on like Robinhood or Coinbase or TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, you can just trade coins on these decentralized exchanges where it's all peer-to-peer. And it makes it really easy to trade. You don't have to go through this KYC or depend on a third party. Title registrations. This is going to be something that I think eventually impacts our real lives, where maybe some of your documents are just going to be NFTs on blockchains. It makes sense to me because it just makes it safer. It's easier to verify. You don't have to go to the DMV all the time to do all these things and wait in all the lines and stuff. Gaming assets. Any gamers in here? Okay, you guys probably hate NFTs. That's been my understanding from the gaming community, but I think that NFTs being integrated into games one day where you can actually own assets, move them between different games, instead of just being inside the gaming company's game where it's, they essentially own it. You can't take it with you. I think that will allow for some interesting game theory in games, and some new things will come out of that. I know some people don't like the financialization of everything, but I think we can see some interesting implications to that as well. Even social media platforms. Right now, it's always big that, we don't own our data via Facebook, I mean, even like AI, they crawl the web and take all the information in the world and give it to you and they use it and commercialize it. Some people don't like that, right? So crypto and there's already a few platforms working on this called Farcaster and Lens Protocol, where they're trying to create social media platforms where you own your own data instead of the actual social media company. And identity and reputation. So this is going to be interesting, like putting what you've done, your reputation, on chain, on the blockchain, that's verifiable by anybody, right? Like, so when you interview at a job, how do they actually know you have a college degree, right? Do they go through the process of, calling the college itself or verifying in any way? Do they just trust you? Or, you can think of like, if you need to get a loan from the bank, this could all be done on chain, and then they can easily verify what your assets are, what net worth is, what your resume is, and how much of your resume is actually true. All this stuff can be verified more safely on the blockchain. So that's just some of the few things that crypto is helping with. Data and privacy, I think this is one of my favorite things that hasn't really broken out yet in the real world, but I think will have some of the biggest implications for our privacy and data in terms of just making it stronger. So Naval, who's anybody heard of Naval? He's one of the VCs in Silicon Valley. He's the founder of AngelList. He was really early on crypto. He said the future of freedom depends on zero knowledge proofs. So right here is where it explains it's a cryptographic method for one party to prove to another that a statement is true without revealing any additional information. So what does that actually mean? So that means that when you go to the bank and you need to prove that it's you, your social security number, how much assets you own to get a loan or whatever it is you're trying to do, they need to gain access to that information to be able to prove it. But that puts you at risk. I mean, raise your hand if you've ever gotten an email from a company that said, we've been hacked and your information has been leaked. Everybody in the room, right? It's almost become normal in today's world, where it's almost expected. Like, at some point, this company is going to email me, and there's going to be some sort of hack or something, right? So, with this, the other company or third party does not actually have to gain access to your personal information. The tech, the zero knowledge proof, simply verifies that what they're looking for from you is valid, and then they can continue to move on to whatever it is they need next. So they don't need to gain access to your bank documents. It just proves that you have 100 grand in assets, and then you can get a proof of loan. Right. So it's this is something that I think will have huge implications for our data and privacy for the reasons I mentioned. It will reduce identity fraud. You won't have to disclose your personal information. Your privacy is just going to improve all the way around. It enhances all the authentication systems. You won't have to read passwords. And hopefully one day we don't have to remember 30 passwords to log into all of our things. So I think this is something that will be huge in the future that just hasn't taken off quite yet. I'll go back to Bitcoin because that's just kind of like where Bitcoin started, and a lot of people hear about crypto through Bitcoin. But this is also something that Naval stated. Bitcoin is a network with no ruler. There is no founder. There is a founder, Satoshi, but he just initiated the process and kind of stepped back early on. But the Bitcoin network, it's merit-based, it's tamper-proof, it's open. It's this voting system that's decentralized around the world for people. Peer-to-peer system. Society gives you money for giving the world what it wants, and blockchains give you tokens for giving the network what it wants. For example, Bitcoin pays you if you secure the network. And by securing, I mean if you mine Bitcoin, you're helping secure the Bitcoin blockchain. For everybody and every one of us who wants to transact and send Bitcoin, you're helping secure that network for us. And in return, the Bitcoin network pays you in their own currency, Bitcoin, right? And hopefully that Bitcoin increases in value or is stable, and that is valuable to people. And currently we exchange that for dollars, but maybe one day we won't. And different blockchains have different needs. Bitcoin needs security in the form of mining, and if you provide that service, the network pays you in Bitcoin tokens. Different blockchains need different things, right? Some blockchains need you to create content around their ecosystem, and they'll pay you in tokens for that specific content, right? But it's not just content or mining, it could be all sorts of things. Storage, security, computation, all kinds of things that different blockchains will pay you if you're helping support and grow that particular network. So another favorite quote from them all is, blockchains combine the openness of democracy and an internet with the merit of markets. Blockchains support the market model where it couldn't go before. And blockchains are just these networks, right? Like almost everything in the world is a network, right? A business is a network, social media platforms are networks. Bitcoin and blockchains are networks without kings, without CEOs, without corporations. Well, some of them, the ones that are decentralized at least. And the idea is that one day blockchain-based networks will replace most of the centralized existing networks, including nation states possibly one day in the wake of AI, right? So just to kind of break down a little bit more how these networks and blockchains work, I'll use Bitcoin as an example. So Bitcoin is, you know, it started as a currency, but now it is more used as like a store of value. It's coded into the blockchain that there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin, right? So you don't have to trust anybody. The CEO or the founder of Bitcoin stepped out early on, but we can still trust that there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin in the long run. That's just what's coded into the network of Bitcoin specifically. So Bitcoin is now governed by the people. It's a currency, or aka a store of value, that grew all over the world, that has a huge market cap, and it's governed by only the people in the network. There's not a large corporation, there's not a CEO waking up every day driving Bitcoin to growth, right? It's just people waking up and saying, I'm going to mine Bitcoin, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, I'm going to own Bitcoin. And eventually that network grew to what it is today, to where now you have BlackRock buying Bitcoin and pushing Bitcoin to its investors, and states in America are now pitching it to add it into their treasuries. So this all started from just a small thing on the internet that looked like a joke, and now is an alternative to gold or a nation state's currency. And that's just the power of blockchains and these networks. And also, Bitcoin's never been hacked. It's been running for over 10 years, never been hacked. And it's something that you can take anywhere and send to anybody, anywhere in the world at any time. And eventually, so DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance, where it's these crypto applications where you can go take out a loan without having to talk to a banker. You know, simply, if you have some crypto in your wallet, you can connect to these lending protocols. It verifies your assets. There's another person on the other side of it, it's peer-to-peer. If they accept your loan terms, then you guys make a deal, and the smart contracts automatically make it happen. And there's nobody involved. You put up the assets, they accept your deal, they loan you the money, and the smart contracts create the trust in between. You don't have to go to the bank and talk to somebody at Bank of America. And eventually, maybe one day, DeFi, if it becomes large enough, can be denominated in something like Bitcoin instead of dollars or another currency, right? So Bitcoin is the first network in crypto. It's the biggest network in crypto. But there's many more networks that are not trying to be store values. They're trying to do all these other interesting things. And I think I think crypto is still early, and you're going to see a lot of these networks continue to grow and offer value in really interesting ways that impact our lives. And Bitcoin is still not a guaranteed thing. You know, it's been around for over 10 years, but it's not guaranteed to be this long-term thing yet. I think if the world decides that Bitcoin is bringing value and the network is continuing to strengthen it and grow it, then eventually I think Bitcoin could be a new store of value for maybe nation states or the underlying currency for all of decentralized finance in the future, where everything will be priced in Bitcoin and maybe not dollars or something like that. So a lot of people ask, well, why is it that every time I hear about crypto, it's something negative? It's something like somebody got hacked, or this meme coin dropped and everybody lost money. A lot of times that's what the news portrays it like. And I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen. It does happen a lot, way more than it should. It's a permissionless network, so a lot of people can just go on there and do things. Which obviously with that comes bad actors that do bad things. But that's only one part of the story. The second part of the story is that, at least in America, our government deliberately attacked the entire crypto industry. Under Biden, Gary Gensler was the head of the SEC, and Gary Gensler was really just literally attacking the crypto industry. That he was debanking a lot of the crypto startups. They were having to move out of America to keep their startups alive, or to just even start their startups. You couldn't really drop tokens. There was no regulatory framework, and they intentionally made it confusing for crypto companies to launch anything attached to a token or interesting features that could make crypto something impactful. They subpoenaed Coinbase, and all the good crypto companies got subpoenaed, and all the people doing bad things for some reason were just skating by. It was kind of this weird thing, right? Because like the future of technology, in my opinion, is AI and crypto, and obviously so many other things, but those are two really important ones. And America was sabotaging one of those really important industries, and maybe it's because, different industries have different interests, and this may be attacking, their business or whatever it may be, right? But now, I think we're going to get into a more exciting time in crypto. I'll take a step back. So, one of the reasons you saw the proliferation of meme coins was because technically meme coins were decentralized. When you launch a meme coin, you don't really own it anymore, and it's like fair for anybody to come in and buy it and own a percentage of it. So it was technically legal under the little framework that we had. So you saw all these meme coins launch, and you didn't see any interesting coins launch anymore because startup founders were scared to launch it because they were getting subpoenaed by SEC, and then crypto became this huge casino. So, but I think now that we have a new administration who is a lot more supportive of crypto, you're seeing stable coins take over. We're going to see some really interesting things come from crypto. Crypto's never had good regulation. For the first time it does. So I think things are going to get exciting, and I suggest that you guys start to learn about it if it interests you, and get involved. And I'll just show you guys. This is our website, Web3CFO. Find us on Meetup. We host different community events and partner with different groups to advocate for crypto and its values. Thank you, guys.
Oh, my computer.
All right, so we have our next presenter that's coming up. And, Danny, you said your slides. Okay, just a second. We have a monthly frequency. And all right, so Danny Tapia, I'm sure most of you guys know Danny. He's always out in the community. He's always doing wonderful things, and that's one of the things why we love Danny so much. So he's going to be talking to you. This is his thought leader talk about what is an XR community. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in present notes for you, Danny. All right, come on up.
Hello everyone. My name is Danny Tapia. I'm the founder of Capital Technologies. I also am the head organizer for Augmented World Expo Night Orlando. Today I will be talking about what is XR and what is XR community. So, in the future of XR. So, once again, my name is Danny Tapia. host for AWE in Orlando, and IT professional and XR enthusiast. So I am part of an organization called AWE. It's the leading event provider for all things virtual reality, augmented reality, and even mixed reality. But what even is XR, right? So XR is actually an umbrella term that means extended reality. And it's everything that entails augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. So augmented reality is when you do a digital overlay on top of the real world with digital objects. So you can imagine if you put on a pair of glasses, the glasses that you have on right now. But imagine if you were to able to digitally overlay information, maybe navigation, or set up, go to a store and you can look at the item and it'll be able to tell you what that item is with your glasses without having to pull out your phone, right? So that's an example of augmented reality. Now, virtual reality is a little bit different, but it's very similar. Virtual reality is when you encase yourself in an immersive world, where you can't see the world around you, but you immerse yourself into a completely new world, typically in 3D. So, reality. Mixed reality is the bridge between both of them. So with augmented reality, you're able to overlay digital objects over the real world. And with virtual reality, you're able to encase yourself in an immersive world. What happens when you mix both of them together, right? You get mixed reality. And mixed reality is when you have a video overlay. So you have a video processing, and you're able to change from completely immersive to completely see-through. And that's the power of mixed reality, right? And the current state of XR technology is actually rapidly advancing. And we have some really great breakthroughs in the XR industry as it is today, right? So this is an example of the technology that goes into building out modern XR technology. And this is actually the Microsoft HoloLens, which is one of the latest XR, or previously one of the latest XR technology glasses that came out in the last few years. And these are some of the sensors and arrays that go into building the modern tech stack of augmented reality and virtual reality, right? So you have things like 6 degrees of freedom. Now what is 6 degrees of freedom, right? So to break down what even 6 degrees of freedom is, it's by understanding the different layers of how you can interact in augmented reality or virtual reality, right? So let's say you have a TV screen, right? This TV screen, you can only look at it from 1 degree of freedom. Wherever that is positioned in this specific world, that is exactly how it's going to be. That's 1 degree of freedom. But what happens when you're able to look up and down, navigate, up, down, left, and right? That's what happens when you get 3 degrees of freedom. Now with 6 degrees of freedom, 6 degrees of freedom is completely untethered, being able to explore the immersive world in augmented reality. So 6 degrees of freedom, you can move up, down, left, right, and move around in a three-dimensional plane, right? This is the power of augmented reality. And this is some of the arrays and sensors of how small the technology can be to actually make this possible. So, here's some examples of the current state of XR devices, right? So if you look into the far right, this is an example of even one of the smallest VR headsets that you can get. It's the big screen beyond, and it's very, very light, weighing under like 80 grams, right? And if you think about your cell phone, which is like, let's say 70 grams, that's relatively light. You put that on your head, it's not going to feel as if you're wearing a heavy headset. We transitioned from a point where, XR headsets used to be super duper heavy. Now they're getting lighter and the technology is getting better. Then you have the most widely available, yet affordable XR headset on the market right now, which is the Meta Quest 3. Right, this is a combination of mixed reality and where you could do augmented reality and virtual reality. It's a combination of both of them. And for the price of only like $500, it's getting way more affordable than it was before. And the last one is augmented reality. So this, you can see that those are a pair of glasses. But with the glasses, you're actually able to overlay digital objects, right? They have the cameras and the sensors that allow you to process information and digitally overlay information onto the real world. So you can think about some practical use cases, which we'll get into in a second. So just to give you a history of where XR even started, this was an example of one of the very, very first XR devices that came out many, many years ago. 1968. XR has been in development for many, many, many years. If you've ever seen, it goes as far back as the Star Trek, right? With the holodeck, where you're able to immerse yourself into a completely different world and immerse yourself in there, right? And this was a technology that from the 60s that we were trying to develop and get to XR, right? And the reason why he's actually he's standing there with the waveguides and the lenses is because all the processing power is actually done separately on a bigger computer, right? On a huge, huge computer. And like you guys seen before, that technology has came from being on a super big server now to being on something as light as even smaller than your cell phone. With 4K, 6 degrees of freedom, hand tracking, and so many other sensors that allow you to do great things in augmented reality, right? So what are some real world applications of XR? So an example of a real world use case of XR would actually be in healthcare. So last year, I had the opportunity to work with Orlando Health to actually build one of the very first augmented reality patient applications in the hospital, right? And the application was, nonverbal patients needed a way to communicate in the hospital. Let's say, God forbid, you lose the ability to speak in the hospital, you still need a form to communicate. So we work with Orlando Health to actually build out an application that allows them to, allow the patient to communicate using simple icons and buttons in augmented reality, because communication is super vital. So when you take something like augmented reality and you add some real world functionality, what you get is actually something amazing. And this is actually one of the prototypes and mock-ups of what we designed for the application. So here you can choose on the left, on a body diagram where you're feeling pain, if you're feeling an itch, if you're feeling numb, if you're feeling intense pain, you can choose that in a 3D space. And instead of having to have to call the doctor every single time, you can just immediately, as soon as it comes to you, you have the glasses on already. All you have to do is just put a few pinches and clicks, and you're done. You are able to send that information more conveniently. And this is an example of the pre-existing author-app version, which was used on an iPad. So this is an example of a patient who has intubation, right? Who has tubes running into their throat. They can't communicate. Oh, question? Oh. And he has tubes running through his throat, right? But communication is still very important. So we partnered up with Orlando Health, and we were able to uncover multiple use cases for XR in healthcare, right? So XR technology can enhance the user experience, right? And that's what we saw when we did the demos and the prototype for the AuthorApp project. The XR market is continuing to grow over and over and over again, year over year. And currently, as of 2023, it's a $38 billion market, right? XR, tons of companies are investing so much money into XR because they see it as the next wave of computing, which is spatial computing. And then the last one brings XR. It really brings a new level of interaction into healthcare use cases, right? And that's what we're able to uncover with the AuthorApp project. Right? That's it. And this is actually one of the prototypes of how it actually came out. So this was the mock-up, and this is how it came out. A little bit different, but more functional for the actual use case of the client, of the patient. Now, the future of XR, we can say that it's already here. We don't have to wait, because like I showed you before, XR technology is not only is it still advancing, but it's also already here. You could think of companies like BMW worked with another company called XReal to build out infrastructure for entertainment in the car. So you could be driving, throwing a pair of augmented reality glasses and just, not even have to worry while the car is driving itself. This is where we currently are today, right? And then XR for entertainment, you can be talking to someone on a FaceTime, no more need to call your phone, just throwing a pair of glasses, call someone, right? In that interaction, you could be cooking while having the augmented reality glasses on, and be, either cooking or cooking while talking to someone, while having the instructions here, floating over here, and then having your family or your friends on this panel over here. And that's the power of XR, right? And then the far future of XR's potential. Where can XR really go from here, right? Because we're still only in the inception. XR has been, it's been in development since, let's say, the 60s as far as we know, right? But this is only the beginning. We have still yet to get to the point where we have augmented reality glasses for every single person. But at that specific point is when things are going to change. You're going to put your phone down less, and it's just going to be, everything is going to be accessible to you at a moment's notice with a pair of augmented reality glasses. So, any questions on XR? Okay.
Yeah. So how expensive do you think it would be to get into XR? Like, not from a developer's perspective, but from a consumer. Like, if I want to buy something that uses XR, how much is the price range?
Yeah. So the barrier to entry to get into XR is actually cheaper than a cell phone, right? So you're thinking about maybe like a MetaQuest 3S headset. That only is going to cost you $300, but you get one of the most advanced yet acceptable XR headsets on the planet, right, with the MetaQuest 3S, and that's only $300. Literally one of the most advanced. So yeah, it's very cheap.
Okay.
Michael?
I have a question. Do you see any interesting intersections where XR and AI meet?
Oh yeah, yes, very much so. XR plus AI is going to be super huge, and actually something that we're working on right now, which is being able to bridge the gap between augmented reality with artificial intelligence. You could think of agentic AI, which agentic artificial intelligence is it's a layer above just regular AI, which is just, you put in a prompt and then you get a response back. Agentic AI is like you tell it to do something and it goes and does it, right? In augmented reality. So you can, let's say you have your glasses on, you're talking to an agentic AI with your glasses, and then you go tell it, hey, can you go fill out this email I'm going to do so I can do it right now? It will fill out the email for you, do it, and then it will be done. So agentic AI is only going to continue to advance as new models come out, as new technologies continue to advance. XR plus AI is going to continue to grow. And AI is a multiplier. This is a great thing about the day and age that we're in right now. AI is a multiplier of technology. It takes information and it can multiply it on a different scale to give you instant access to anything. So AI plus XR is going to be big.
So you're going to have all of that.
Oh yeah, all of that, creating worlds, all of it. Any question?
Yes, you can hold this. I really enjoyed the void in Disney Springs for are there any reality
I'm going to tell them last question.
That is actually a good question, and actually that's something that we are working on right now with the Orlando tech community to bring more experiences here to Orlando related to XR, right? Because traditionally it would be you go to Disney, you have to travel to Disney to actually have a really fun experience. But now with XR technology, you can bring the experiences to you, and that's the power of XR. In fact, if you're looking for a location-based experience, there's actually the AWE Night Orlando meetups that we have, and we have this every single month. It's every single month, and there's a bunch of experiences. But yes.
Okay, I'm taking this away from him. He's going to come back and talk about his AWE night in a little bit. But we have our next speaker. Thank you so much, Dan. All right, so you just saw Nick come up and talk about Web3. Nick is going to tell you about his new startup, which is Local Chef. So Nick, I'm bringing you back up here. I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Let me put it back and just leave it where it is. Not messing with it. Slide here. And, come on, Nick.
Thank you, Isabel. What's up, everybody? I'm back. So when I'm not trading crypto tokens, I'm avoiding cooking. So I started a startup for meal prep. So the way Local Chef came about was about a year ago. I was working full time, busy, sure like many of you guys, and I got tired of cooking. I'm like, every night I'm cooking. It's taking 2 hours. I gotta cook, I gotta clean, I gotta go to the store. And eventually I just got fed up with it. And then I just started eating out every day. And then after a few weeks, I got fed up with that. And I just wanted to be a little bit cleaner too. So I was like, what is the alternative, right? So then I ordered HelloFresh. Anybody here ever tried HelloFresh, something like that? I ordered it and ingredients showed up. And I was like, wait a minute, like I was trying to avoid the cooking. And I didn't read good enough. So I gave the ingredients to my roommate and I went and got Chipotle. So, and then I tried Factor, which was another meal prep company. I didn't like it. It didn't meet what I was looking for. So I still had the same problem. I didn't find my solution. So man, I just want some clean meal prep that I can trust, that I can enjoy, that can stay on for a long period of time. I wasn't finding that. So I lived in an apartment building downtown. I knocked on my neighbor's door and I said, we're cool. And I said, hey, are you cooking dinner tonight? She said yes. I said, can you cook an extra plate for me? And I'll throw you $10. And she was like, all right. And then I was like, whatever you're cooking, just make me another plate. I just want a home cooked meal. So she did. We did that for like 3 months. And I was like, okay, this is great. Like I'm eating great. I don't have to cook. I don't have to go out to even buy it. It was just showing up to my door. She's my neighbor. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. Maybe we should connect local chefs with people looking for local meals, local fresh meals. And that's kind of how Local Chef came about. So I thought, okay, maybe I should test this idea a little further. Because obviously my neighbor wasn't a professional chef. She could cook up a mean lasagna, but she didn't go to school for it. So I went and I found some chefs locally, and I convinced them to join the plot. Well, I didn't have a website at that point. I just said, hey, listen, I'm going to find you some customers. You're going to have to cook the food, and we'll make it happen. And so that's what happened. I had a few chefs working with me. I found some customers looking for meal prep. I manually was making this happen on a weekly basis. Sometimes I was delivering the meals to the customers' homes. Sometimes we use a third party. And we did that for several months. The customers liked it. They're like, this is better than HelloFresh. This is better than Factor. It's local. And I was like, okay, all right, maybe we're onto something here. So then we decided, okay, I think we got enough of validation to maybe we can release an MVP for a marketplace where people can go on in Orlando and find a local chef that they would like to order from. You'll be able to see their menu, the days they deliver, the pricing, all that. And that's what we're going to be launching in about 1 to 2 weeks. If you go to this website, it's a website I built on Shopify. It was very basic, basically just to be able to have a place for people to pay for the meals that we were doing. But the marketplace will be a different domain, and be releasing in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and further validate the marketplace. You'll be able to order from a different Orlando chef every week if you want. Choose the meals, automate it for 3 months if you wanted. If you said, I don't want to think about every week how do I got to order my food, you can just in advance choose the meals you want. It just shows it to you automatically. And you can just automate the whole cooking and eating process, which to me has been amazing. If you guys have the same issue, I would love for you guys to give Local Chef a try. If you come to my booth over there and hop on the wait list, we'll give you guys 30% off your first week's order. And there's no commitment. You can just try for a week. You can subscribe. You can edit it at any time, your menu list. So if you want to just say, all right, let me just try the meals first, see how it is, you're more than willing to do that. So that's kind of the story. We're looking to launch in about 1 to 2 weeks. Like I said, we're very excited to work with some of the local chefs in Orlando and provide local meals to everybody. who's in need of it.
So
That's
he's
about
in
it.
here.
Yeah, I like the idea because I'm assuming the
He
chefs
sent me
are,
his decks, so we have
they
that.
sign in for
I
the
asked
platform
Scott to send his.
Yeah, so there'll be a spot to
After
sign up as a
she
chef.
has 30 minutes,
We're going
Scott
to
has
validate the chefs, right? We'll validate your cooking in a certified kitchen that's clean. We'll do a taste testing from the menu. And, you know, our job as a platform to make sure we're offering good food and good chefs.
I don't know, have you thought about like what would happen if like the scales off? Or do you have like, do you have ideas in mind for how to, you know, if there's more more eaters than chef cookers or whatnot?
I mean, I dream of that every night.
Yeah.
I would love that. What would I do if that happened? Well, I would get more chefs, first of all. But I think what potentially could happen is like, you know how like on Airbnb, hotels will overflow on the platform, even though it's not like hotels, right, directly. So I expect maybe something like that could potentially happen here, right? Like maybe a restaurant puts together a meal prep menu specifically for our platform, and then, you know, they can get more business. We can take care of more customers. Or chefs, you know, it's kind of like Airbnb. I did Airbnb for years. I went from 1 property to 5 properties, and you know, I was a more active user on the host side. So maybe a local chef wants to go from cooking 80 meals a week to renting a kitchen and doing 500 meals a week and hiring employees. You know, so I think there's ways to scale it within one city and then also within other cities.
Yes, sir. How are the meals delivered?
We use a third-party platform. It's an aggregator that aggregates all the last mile delivery services, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, all those. It helps us connect with the best drivers, and we get that delivered. It picks it up from the chef and delivers it to the customer's homes.
Are you breaking your chefs out into categories like vegan and like, I mean, understanding various types of food, specialties, but also food allergies as well, like making sure that they're meeting those standards?
Yes, definitely. In the very beginning, we will probably just be serving traditional meals, just to try to satisfy the most average user that comes on. But I assume that we will get chefs that come on that will just want to do vegan meal prep, that will just want to do keto meal prep,
right?
Or only organic, or only ingredients from local Orlando farmers, right? I would love for a chef to come on board and do that, because I would order from him every week. So we'll definitely have filters for the customers to filter out their meals and for the chef to do it all.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
How's the price?
We are, for now, going to leave that up to the chefs. We will guide them on like what the meal prep customer is willing to spend. But I have a chef he does meal prep on his own already. He wants to have on the platform because he wants more business. But he is that high-end chef, and he only serves high-end customers. He charges $18 a plate, and his customers are more than happy to pay it. And he's cooking lobster and salmon and steaks, and you know, they got a good thing going on. He can come on our platform and order the same thing, and if somebody wants to eat fine dining, meal prep style, he's there for you. But then there will be other chefs that will offer prices that are, I would say, more around the pricing of HelloFresh and Factor that the average person can pay. But it will vary, to answer your question.
How do you split the profit between local chefs?
Yes, so we initially we're going to test the model of kind of like how Airbnb does it, where they target transaction fee to the host. They do both the host and the guest. We'll probably just start off charging a small fee to the chef per weekly meal prep order, probably about 15 to 20% for our services.
Thank you.
All right.
Any questions? No? Thank you, guys.
So be sure to go over now.
I'm ready to sign up now.
And
Are
he
you?
also
Yeah.
has
Come see
one
me,
of the
man.
other
Okay.
organizers,
Get you on
Mia,
list, 30% off your first
Mia,
one.
that is where
Oh, what's up,
and
man?
she's over there, she can talk with you about the advantages and disadvantages, or whatever costs that you might see with Web3. I'm supposed to pull up Rajiv, which one is it?
Just go ahead and click both of them. I'll be over there.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will do that, thank you.
Okay.
It says I need access. I have one, the Orlando Innovation League, I have access to that. The other one I do not. Yeah, I need that. You need to give access to the E4C. Okay, that's even better, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Let me go and close that one. Go back here. And this one in. You get blow-by-blow announcements as I'm opening this file, just so you know. Slideshow. So Rajiv is a big community leader. He is somebody that is in Startup Weekend, Orlando Innovation League, Hypervalidation. He also owns a software company in Formulate. He does everything, this man. So let's give a round of applause for Rajiv Menon.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Hey, how's everybody doing? Yeah, good turnout. I'm glad to see so much energy around the local community. I actually haven't been to an Inidenomicon before, which is really exciting to see. We do something similar at OIL called Startup Weekend. How many people know what Startup Weekend is?
Yes.
3 people. All right, great. So I get to share this with you for the first time. As Isabella mentioned, I do a few things. So my primary business is called Formulate, which is a software and innovation consulting company. We've been around for 19 years. We've built products for some large companies such as Stanford University, California, Guidewell Innovation, Massey Services, but also a bunch of smaller startups and mid-sized companies. Recently, I also launched a product called Air, which is our first product offering in AI. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then today's topic that right now that I'm going to cover is really about Orlando Innovation League. And if you like events like this, you're going to love what I have to say next. Okay, so actually we're doing this talk first. Let me go ahead and switch screens. Here we are. Okay. So, what is Orlando Innovation League? Orlando Innovation League is a meetup group. We started off as a meetup group. Now we're doing a lot more than just meetups. We still have our monthly meetup series, which is called Innovation Stories. And we meet usually at the Credo Conduit, but sometimes we do move around. Our flagship event, the one that I think Nick was just talking a minute ago, he actually participated at Startup Weekend and some of his idea and innovation. Actually, he was able to practice that at Startup Weekend in Orlando. So for those who don't know, Startup Weekend is a whole weekend event. It's done in partnership with Techstars out of Boston. And we have people who have startup ideas come in and pitch their ideas in 1 minute, and then we form teams. And those startup ideas that get picked get to work on that idea for the whole weekend. We have 20 to 24 different mentors that come in during the weekend to help you move the idea along. And at the end of it, we have 3 judges who will provide feedback and potentially recommend. The judges are generally folks that are investors or have launched businesses on their own. And they actually can provide connections and referrals and connections to you as well. Quick pitch is where if you have a startup idea that you're starting to launch, it's a great place to come in and actually share your idea with other folks and get feedback, as well as have investors in the room. You have a panel of judges that give you feedback on your startup, and usually we want to see some kind of demo. We want to see something live. It's not a concept for a potential idea that comes in the future. We want to see something that your demo that actually has an MVP working. And then we have a pretty exciting concept which we really enjoyed last year called Innovation Tours, where we take a busload of people, or we actually just meet at the venue, and we get a tour of some place that's doing some cool innovations. We've gone to this really cool winery, which was doing some pretty cool things. We went to Corksicle, we've gone to Full Sail, so we'll look forward to having one this year. We haven't decided which one we're going to do this year yet, but that's something to look forward to. As I said, we've been around for a long while now, 10 plus years. We have 8,000 followers across the media and the mailing list and everything like that, meetup.com. We generally see about 40 to 80 attendees per event. There's always great networking, food, speakers, so we look forward to seeing you there. I'll have some a QR code for you here shortly, where you can, find us online. We have a great team: Ashley Capiello, Ashley Elliott, Mike Rowe. Isabella's actually at the counter there, so if you haven't seen our banner, please stop by. It's right over there behind you for Orlando Innovation Week. And of course, you have me. So, if you want to pitch, how many people here have a startup idea or have taken your idea forward so far? Will, right? Yeah, remember you. Cool. Well, if you want to pitch and you want to demo your startup, this is a great place to do it. Or if you want to just listen to some of the cool startups that are doing cool things in Orlando, it's a great place to come and see what some of the folks are doing. And if you have skills that you want to maybe work on a startup idea part-time and see how things are going. Or if you want to get experience in a technology that's pretty cool, like AR, VR, or AI, come listen to some of the pitches and maybe you find some ways to collaborate with them. All right? And if you want to find us for the monthly meetup, that's our meetup group URL. It's free to join. Just come in and hang out. We had last meetup we did that was about a couple of weeks ago. We had Phil Dumas from Unikey and Sean Seifler from Clean the World. Has anybody heard either of those companies? Okay, couple. Yeah, so they're one of the OGs of entrepreneurship in Orlando. Both of them have been featured on TV. Sean Seifler has been on TV like a dozen times. He's been on Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. Phil Dumas was on Shark Tank, where he got one of the first people to get offers from all three of the Shark Tank investors at that point in time, including Mark Cuban, which he actually ended up turning down. It was a fantastic story. It was really great to hear from entrepreneurs that are doing amazing things right here in Orlando. So I'd invite everybody to get on Meetup, and we'll see you at the next event. Now, as I mentioned, Startup Weekend is our real flagship. We used to do them once a year. We've been doing them for about 7-8 years now. And we've now got a grant from Orange County. We're very grateful for that, which allows us to do the event twice a year. And it's been extremely successful in every metric that you can think of. The number of people that show up, the diversity of people that show up. We've had teams with young students, a 12-year-old girl working side by side with an Accenture executive. And we've had teams where people with practically no startup experience have landed first place. And another situation where an ex-Googler showed up and he launched his company, which has now raised, I think, $16 million at last count. And it's right here in Winter Park. And they ended up coming first in the global startup battle across 150 cities. So Orlando's actually done that twice. So this is a high quality event where you actually do rub shoulders and you learn some serious innovation methodology skills. There are 4 kind of training sessions. One of them is about business modeling, where you get the basics of business modeling. Nobody writes 40, 60, 80-page business plans anymore. If you have a business idea, you should just do a basic business model, one-pager, and that's really powerful to do because it covers all the main points that you really need to think about at that stage. And then we have value proposition design. We teach you customer discovery. We teach you how to pitch. We give you a template for all of those things. And we have experts helping you along every step of the way. It's very powerful. Even if you're not ever going to run a startup yourself, the process of going through and identifying how you would build a product and taking it out is super powerful in all kinds of different ways in your career. So that's what we do there. It's a very powerful event. I encourage everybody. By the way, tickets are live. So if you go to Startup Weekend, do I have the URL here? I don't. But if you join us at the booth there, we have some tickets and we have some giveaways. So we have actually 3 tickets to give away for Startup Weekend. It's a $120 ticket. It includes 7 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It includes a t-shirt, it includes unlimited snacks and coffee, and of course all the other wonderful things I talked about. So this Startup Weekend concept has been out for probably 14, 15 years at this point. And these numbers are outdated. It's probably double that now, because this slide's been there for a few years. But we have major companies come out of Startup Weekend, not just from Orlando, but across the world, including Zapier and a number of other companies that have done great things. But even locally, we've had companies raise millions of dollars in funding and create dozens of jobs. So here's the next event. This is coming up next month. So we hope to see everybody here. Attendees who show up to this event will get a big discount on Startup Weekend Orlando. This is March 18th, and we're doing this in partnership with Black Orlando Tech. We have a leadership panel, there will be some networking, and we'll talk about how you can participate in Startup Weekend. We generally see about 80 to 100 people at Startup Weekend, so there are limited seats there. Of course, about half of those are probably students, but the other half is tech executives, developers, all kinds of folks. All right, everybody had a chance to get that? Perfect. And that is Startup Weekend. I ended the little video here. No volume on this? Isabella, where is she? Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to work without volume. Hey, Isabella, do you have a sound on this? Okay.
I don't know why it's not working.
Maybe you plug it into a speaker? Yeah. So, is it plugged into it?
I imagine it's one more thing that, and Juan is not here, so I do not know how to adjust for that.
I think everybody gets the point of what this event's about, though. So
Yeah.
I'll open it up to questions. Any questions? Going once? When? Startup Weekend is April 25th. It's the whole weekend from Friday night through Sunday night. Yes, sir.
This is once a year?
This is twice a year now. Yeah. So there's one in fall as well. Yeah. Well, we usually rotate around the universities. This one is at Seminole State. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Good questions. Anybody else?
I'll ask you one.
Go ahead, Isabel.
So, is there a discounted ticket if they buy it now?
There is, and we have the discount codes at our booth. Thank you. Great question. We actually have 3 giveaways, and we have a discount. We also have early bird ticketing right now, so you're going to get a discount on top of the early bird, which lasts for another 2-3 weeks, and then we get off the early bird. So if you want to get in now, it's a really good deal right now. Our innovation booth is right behind you guys. Yes, sir. Yeah, great question. So the question was, is the Startup Weekend focused only on tech? And the answer is no. You can pitch any idea you like. We've had ideas, hardware ideas. We've had somebody who had a healthy cookie idea.
Nonprofit
all
too.
kinds of ideas.
A nonprofit also.
Nonprofits too. Yeah, we've had some social enterprises and nonprofits pitched as well. Yeah.
Are the groups there, are they randomly created or can you have them team?
Yeah, great question. So yes, the groups are based on, first of all, we have probably 50 pitches during the week on Friday night, and then we pick the top 10 or 11, depending on how much time we have. And then once you pick the top 10 or 11, you can pick any team that you want to be a part of. So it's very democratic. And if you have a team that came with you, you could end up working together if all of you agree that this is the team you want to be in, because your idea may not be the one that gets picked, right? So you'd have to go work on someone else's team. The experience is still 99% valuable, right? Or the only difference is you're not working on your idea, but all the things you learn are still reusable skills.
Okay, so there's like a series of pitches that happen first, you get and then everybody kind of gravitates.
Exactly. Yeah. Good question. And you could end up working with somebody on an idea that you never even thought of, but that ends up being really cool. And I've seen that happen. I don't know if you guys have heard of Sunil Madani, CEO of Stacks, the biggest fintech unicorn that Orlando has produced. She first pitched her idea at the Startup Weekend, and she didn't get picked. And guess what? Her company is worth over $1 billion right now, and she didn't even work on her idea. So don't let that stop you if your idea doesn't get picked. Yes, sir.
So essentially, game jam, what it said is you're pitching your ideas for a company.
Yeah, it's a very similar concept to game jams, except that it's about a startup and it's about a business. So really focus on de-risking the business idea. Yes, ma'am.
So why this is beneficial to you guys in the game community is you guys don't know how to take a game to market. This is where you learn how to take your game to market through customer validation. You should sign up for it.
Thank you, Isabella.
Yeah.
That's a great point, because a lot of times we have ideas for games or other startups, but how do we take that forward? And it can seem very daunting, right? It's more fun to build a game, but marketing it, finding partners, finding co-founders and all that is really hard. So you learn those skills on really identifying how to pitch your idea, how to de-risk it, what are the biggest risks, because every idea has different risks. Some have technical risks, that's the biggest problem. In other cases, it's market risk, because you don't really understand what the market needs. In yet other cases, it could be regulation or something else. So it's really important for you to know what your biggest risk is and how you're going to address it. Cool.
So just take one more question so you can go to air. Okay.
All right, I do have one more talk, which is about air, which is a free download as well.
He's going to fix it so you have audio.
Oh, gotcha, perfect. Thank you so much.
I think you have it on the wrong output,
Okay.
but he said he doesn't need it right now.
Okay. He
So
wanted
we'll look
it
into
for
it.
the other thing.
All right, dumb question. How many people have heard about AI? Raise your hands. This is a joke, but as you know, everybody talks about AI everywhere. You literally cannot get away from it. Everybody needs to know AI, generative AI, all the tools that are there. There's tools in every single domain you can think of. There's marketing AI, there's game development AI, there's video production AI. You can pretty much think of any domain. There's going to be AI products out there. In fact, when I was writing a chapter in a book along with some Rollins professors about AI and entrepreneurship, and I did some research. There's 8,000 startups that are in AI as of right now across the world. That's a ridiculous number. There's $1 trillion of funding per year going into AI right now. It's the fastest product adoption. ChatGPT was the fastest product adoption of any product ever, hitting 100 million in a few weeks. The biggest VC raise ever. So it's just crazy numbers of what's happening out there. And from our perspective, rank and file, it can seem pretty daunting, right? It can seem pretty scary. Like, what's going to happen to our jobs? What am I going to be working on? It can generate code. What do developers do? So on the flip, that's the glass half empty side. But if you think about the glass half full side, this is the greatest opportunity of a lifetime for folks that are looking at startups and entrepreneurship, because the barrier to entry to launch a business is dropping like a rock. It has never been easier to launch a startup. It has never been easier to build a product. It has never been easier to scale your product, so much so that it is my prediction, and since I made the prediction about a year ago, multiple people have made the same prediction, that we're going to see our first billionaire and we're going to see our first trillionaire who has no employees. That is inevitable. It is going to happen. And it's a superpower if you look at it the right way. So, there's no getting around the fact that there is going to be disruption. People are going to lose their jobs. And entrepreneurship is one of the ways you can find your own path using AI tools. So we really have to think about, well, am I leveraging AI the right way? Am I thinking about this the right way? Am I aware of all the tools out there that could help me in my entrepreneurship journey? And what do I not know that these tools can teach me? With those questions, we try to answer it. And I'll talk a little bit more about how we answered it. But here's the situation, right? We've got 5.5 million new businesses that started in 2023. Guess what's going to happen to them? 90% of them are going to fail. Only 10% of those succeed. And of the ones that succeed, a lot of them actually got help from accelerators. Accelerators are what you go to when you're going to do something that you've never done before in the startup world. And that helps you answer the question of what is it that you don't know, right? And if you can figure that out, it makes your path a lot more likely to succeed. Now, yes, accelerators do great work. There's 40 million Americans who thought about starting a business. Okay, how many people here have thought about starting a business? Okay, so about half of them. And that's a good number. You have 40 million Americans just like you who are thinking about starting a business, but they probably won't because only about 5 million of them do. And only 27,000, which is a small fraction of that 40 million, actually get into an accelerator. So what happens to the rest of them? Well, they don't get the support they need. That's the big problem. And that's why we created AIR. This is the world's first self-paced, AI-driven startup accelerator. And we built that, we launched it last fall. It is live on the app stores right now. Let me show you how it works. So we've got some very powerful modules. These are tested, and as I gave you my background in the previous talk, right, we've got a lot of experience working with startups. And so we built these 4 modules as a way for people to really understand how do you go about defining what your idea is, and how do you go about refining it and actually talking to real customers so you can get feedback, and you're not just making up a story in your head that, oh, if I build this thing, it's going to be successful, I'm going to make millions about it. But you're actually validating that idea. So these 4 modules are really powerful, and we think these are the first 4 steps that you should take. And our premise is you can get from idea to revenue in 3 months. That's a normal time frame for an accelerator. And here's a little secret. You may think that sounds ridiculous. How do I get from idea to revenue in 90 days? What if my hardware product has to be built and I've got to do all this stuff? It's going to take much longer than that. As I mentioned at Startup Weekend, half of the teams that participate generate revenue in the first weekend, in 1 weekend. So 90 days is actually a lot of time. Now, you don't have to build a full product to generate revenue. We've all heard of Kickstarter, right? Everybody's heard of Kickstarter? Who here has not heard of Kickstarter? Okay, good. So I don't need to explain what Kickstarter is. But we have concepts like Kickstarter, where you can generate revenue, you can get pre-registrations, you can get people to give you money before you start building your product. And that is actually a form of validation that's really powerful, because what is, I don't know if you know this, but people like money. Everybody agrees? They don't like to give you money unless they think they're going to get something back. So if you can get people to give you money, that is a really strong signal. That is great validation that they really care about the thing that you want to build. So that is what we consider validation. And then you can use that money to go build your product. Okay? So, how do we do this? So we have 2 AI mentors in the app called Arya and Aiden. And we purposely built 2 instead of just 1 character. And the reason is, being an entrepreneur is a little bit bipolar, right? You have to be both a pessimist and an optimist. You have to think about all the possibilities and all the success and all the money you could make, because you need the energy to go build it. But at the same time, you can't just fool yourself into thinking there are no risks with my idea and that everything is just going to magically work out. So you also need somebody to hold you accountable. That's why we created 2 different characters to give you 2 different perspectives on any problem that you face. And they're both experts in their own spaces. One is about customers, the other is about the business. And they push you along. Now here's some innovations that are unique to AIR, one of which, the objective-driven AI, I don't think I've seen it in a product before. What does that mean? Think about every AI product you've ever used. Look at ChatGPT, look at Gemini, look at anything out there. It's all request-response based, which means it might be really powerful, it might be wonderful, but unless you ask a question, it's not doing anything. Whereas our app is objective-driven, which means it's asking you questions. It's driving you forward. It knows that you're trying to get from idea to revenue. So it knows the objective, and it's going to drive your progress forward. At any point in time, it's going to give you just exactly 1 task to do. And it simplifies the process of entrepreneurship, where anybody can follow along with the idea and do 1 task at a time to get to where you need to go. That frictionless user experience is also helped by the fact that you don't need to type everything out. It's going to auto-generate forms for you. It's going to allow you to, anytime you have a question, it's going to give you options and recommendations of how you could address that question. So you're never stuck not knowing what to do next.
How many minutes?
All right? And it's an accountability partner. Arya and Aiden will nag you every day until you get your stuff done. That's how the app works. So I'll just run through the demo real quick. We don't have time to play the 12-minute video, but this is what orientation looks like. You come in, you put your project name down. It gives a little training video on how this app is going to work. And then it introduces the AI characters. They tell you that you're taking your first step, and you've got 5 steps to go. Here you build your value proposition out. what is the customer segment you're targeting, what is your problem statement, and what is your solution statement. And then you go to build out your customer segment in detail. Again, all of this can be auto-generated, so it will prompt you and give you helpful tips along the way. And then you do customer discovery, which is you go out and talk to real customers. You're not going to do this on your own sitting at home. You have to go talk to real people. And here's the best practices of doing that. And here's the questions you can ask them. Here's where you can find them. All of those will be provided for you. After you're done with customer discovery, you do validation, which is where they go try to raise money, you get people to pre-register, and then finally you go build your actual product. So once you're done with that, it generates the business model for you. In the future, this is a very early stage. We have a whole roadmap that's coming up behind this, but we will have the ability for us to generate for you marketing pitches. We will have the ability to generate a business model and landing page, and all other features are coming out. But at this stage, this is all it does right now. It shows you where you are and gets you to MVP. As I mentioned, it is live at the moment, so feel free to download and check it out. Yeah, go ahead, you have a question?
Okay.
There is not a web app at this moment. Great question. It is a downloadable phone app, and the main reason is because we really wanted the notifications feature and the higher engagement there. But in about 3 months, we will also enable the web app. I get that question a lot, so I'm getting my customer discovery from you. People really want the web app. We'll make that happen. Thank you. 2 more questions. Any other questions on air? Yes, sir.
Sorry, is it free or does it cost?
It is free at the moment. So our first 1,000 users are going to be free. After that, we're going to start charging $20 a month. Yeah. So if you want to use it right now, please feel free. No pun intended.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I think that's it. Thank you very much.
So we're getting ready for our next presenter. And you said you.
Are you talking next? I shared it with you. Which email? Is it E4C or no? OMGLabs.pro, like you told me. Go to Sharon.
Okay, so we're going to have Scott Hill. He's going to be coming up and talking about Proxinia. That is another really cool product. It's a new one out here. So Scott, just a minute. Okay, so he's going to share in the first half about Proxinia. This is another accelerator program that you guys can check out. And he's also going to tell you about future funders. He's on the investment side and also being able to get ready to, build a startup.
Good afternoon, everyone. Like I said, my name is Scott Hill, and I am the founder and CEO of Proxinia Accelerators. What is Proximity? Well, how do you get your startup idea from here? And this is going to kind of mimic some of the things that Rajiv was talking about. But how do you get your idea from here to here? You want to go from having a conversation with somebody and talking about what you want to do to actually shaking hands and getting funding and getting your app, your program, your service out there into the world and actually making money with it. That's the goal. That's why we do this. That's why we're entrepreneurs. So Proxinia is geared toward startups in the hospitality industry. So hospitality startups have a lot of the same challenges that, of course, a lot of other startups have. Things with marketing, idea validation, planning and funding barriers, and then getting into circles with industry experts and getting to know what it is that the industry that they're in, the hospitality industry, whether it's creating a service app for hotels to help them on the back end with, with distribution or operations, or helping a restaurant in customer service. So whatever app or service you want to do, you want to get into some of those specific circles and not necessarily just the tech or startup world circles that we find ourselves in a lot here. So industry-specific information is something that startups in the hospitality industry are really looking for. So what is proximia? Proximia is a word from ancient Greece that actually talks about having a proxenos, or an ambassador from the city-state who welcomes in visiting merchants and helps them get the resources that they need and the connections that they need. So it's really a great allegory toward what Proximia is as an accelerator program. So the modern application of Proximia is helping hospitality in the startup ecosystem, helping those businesses get together and find the problems that are out there in the industry, and coming up with the solutions for those problems, and getting a mutual community and relationship going with the leaders in the industry, so that when you as a startup want to bring in your disrupting idea, there's a place for you to bring it. So how are we structuring this? Tier 1, which is actually online right now at proximia.io, is an online video series, self-paced. It's about 25 videos, each one between 40 minutes and an hour long, separated into digestible chunks. But it takes you through the customer discovery, business development, product development, team building, the whole process. It takes you through that progressively. So it's better than trying to search things out on your own out on the web. It's actually structured and put together in a progressive type of method, so that you're learning to build as you go through it. And again, that is a self-paced, and then there is an online community that we're building that anyone that's going through the program will be able to communicate with others that are in the program. Now, Tier 2 is our first cohort, and we're going to be starting our first cohort in April, and that is going to be an online cohort meeting twice a week for 8 weeks. And we're going to take folks through, much like what Startup Weekend does, a little bit more in depth, actually a lot more in depth. We're going to take you from an idea directly all the way to MVP, and getting your MVP out there in the wild, and we want you to make your first dollar with it. So that's the goal of the Tier 2 program. The Tier 3 and Tier 4 programs are still in development, but those are going to be getting you in front of seed money, seed capital for Tier 3, and when we get to Tier 4, that will be taking some select startups all the way into Series A funding is the goal for that. So again, Tier 1, our foundation and ideation program, is online at proximia.io, and you can sign up there. If you connect with me, I'm still putting together some of the details on this, but we do have a subscription model with this. However, if you get with me personally, if you want to get my LinkedIn or get a message to me in some way, we can grant access. I'll give you a voucher for that, and we'll waive the subscription fee. It's about 3 months worth of work if you take it very, very slowly. If you want to make it all over the day, you can do that while you're working.
So he's talking about.
And then again, our Tier 2 development and validation cohort is starting on April 7th. We are targeting primarily students at the UCF, the Rosen School of Hospitality, and Valencia Hospitality Program in Seminole State as well. But if you have a startup and your idea is somewhere in the hospitality space, I invite you to reach out to me, and let's see what we might be able to put together. We are looking for corporate sponsorship. Like I said, we've got a subscription model for this, but that's really not where we're going to make our funding happen. We are looking for some corporate sponsorship, and Orlando being a heavy hospitality town, we are looking to some of the other companies that are based here, headquartered here in Orlando for that. If you happen to know someone or have a relationship with someone who might be interested in getting involved and bringing in maybe some of their executive team as subject matter experts or mentors, we would love to have an introduction to that. That's where I asked with this today, but we are working on those relationships. I'm a member of the Central Florida Hotel Lobbying Association. We'll be rejoining President Orlando here shortly, and I'm also connected through a lot of organizations around town. You go to any of the networking events, you'll probably see me crashing them. So, talking about mentors, we are also looking for mentors, so people that are subject matter experts in their field and have maybe taught others or mentored others before. We would love to have a conversation with you, bring you in, and have you help out with our community. This is something that, as part of the corporate sponsorship, we are putting together an honorarium for. So we're not asking anybody to do this for free. We will compensate, whether it's cash or some in-kind things. We do want, again, for this to be a mutually supportive community. So I don't like asking people to do things for me for free. I would rather compensate them in whatever way they feel right. Now, that could be a nice gift card or a gift basket or an introduction. It could go any way, in addition to financial. But we are looking for that. So there is the initial ideas of what Proximity is. Does anyone have any questions?
Are there examples of hospitality startups, like, I don't know, like, that have already made it in Orlando, or? No,
in Orlando? Yeah.
You don't need everything.
But if you want to think of what's a hospitality startup, what does that mean? Airbnb is a hospitality startup. DoorDash is a hospitality startup. Uber. Those are in the hospitality industry.
Local chef.
Local chef. Sorry, Nick. Actually, Nick is talking about going through my first cohort. Okay. So you tripped me up.
Sorry.
Anyone else? Well, that's what we're going to close. Again, get with me. My name is Scott Hill. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Scott Hill that looks like me. But I would love for anybody that is interested to go ahead and hire. And I'm going to switch this over to future president.
He's changing screens, just so you know. He's a man that wears many hats also, like all of us in startup life.
I'm early. You want me to go ahead? Go ahead. All right. I'm going to give one of the things that I like to do when I can is give everybody 10 minutes of their lifetime. Now, what do you do with that 10 minutes? I know what you're going to do. I don't know. But I bet it's cool. Because it's cool. All right. What is Future Funders? Future Funders is an exclusive investors group that is more than just a fund. Again, this is an opportunity to build a community of funding sources and startups where they're really honestly working together to build something brand new here in the Orlando community. Like it says, we are more than just a fund, we are a group of change makers. It meets regularly. We do have meetings and events regularly throughout the area. And our next one we're working on in early April as well. And we're going to be investing at the $100,000 level is the goal. We want to invest in startups at that early stage and get them the funding that they need so they can, maybe it's maybe it's stop working a full-time job or stop working 2 part-time jobs or whatever, people are the situation that they're in, and be able to concentrate on working on their business and their startup idea. We want to be able to help them with that. So our thesis is we focus on being the first money in. We want to be one of your first checks. We're right up there with friends and family, fools, but we want to be in that realm and helping out entrepreneurs get things started and get their MVP out there and get out into the market. So we are backing entrepreneurs that are building the next innovations and breakthroughs here in Central Florida. So how does venture capital work? Venture capital works as a firm, general partners, investors come in and they put money into a fund, again with other limited individual expert investors, and they put that into the fund. The fund then looks at potential investors and says, okay, we're going to invest in this one, we're going to invest in this one, we're going to invest in this one. And the fund is what takes care of that money. The venture capital firm and the private investors don't really have so much of a say in that model. So when we're looking at what we're working on, we're wanting to bring in accredited investors and have a little bit more of a conversation and a relationship between the investors and founders. So what is an accredited investor? Accredited investor has a net worth of over $1 million, usually income of $200,000 or more, and they have that $1 million is liquid. They can actually use it for things. There's a number of other specific criteria that is followed by the SEC, and we need to make sure that, of course, we're following that when we're working with accredited investors. So you have a great idea. You're working on something. You've discovered what the problem is that you are solving, and you have the solution to that problem. But you don't have the funding to put together the team that you need or the resources that you need to put that together. And you need some early investment to create that momentum, get that traction, get that production out there into the world, and test your MVP and refine things and make it better and make it exactly what it is that your customer wants to solve their problem. So what our solution is a rolling fund. We're looking at, this isn't just a fund where investors, this will be a monthly investment at a lower level. So we want to bring in people that maybe wouldn't necessarily be able to invest at the higher level right away, but they would like to still get involved in some things. So we're looking at a lower barrier of entry for our investors, and again, a way for them to make a commitment into helping these entrepreneurs who they wouldn't necessarily think that they would be able to. So it's hard for early stage funders or early stage startups to find funding. It's hard for them to get into the right circles. And so what we're doing is we are providing access to fast and easy capital for them to get involved with to help them build their startup.
Ask Mario.
And lastly, if you have looked for money in Central Florida, there is a lot of money sitting out there, and there's not a lot of it that is aimed at startups, that is aimed at tech, that's aimed at new ideas. A lot of it is aimed at old ideas like real estate. There's a lot of money to be made in real estate. There's a lot of opportunity to be made in other places, and so we're really wanting to provide that bridge, that new way for non-traditional investors to maybe look at a different avenue, a different vehicle. You want to come in? This is just me.
A little bit more about Future Founders. We are, this venture fund located in Central Florida. We try to disperse the money to startups locally, but there's a few differentiators, right? So we take accredited investors as well as non-accredited. There's zero management fees because we're investing in a large number of companies and we want to get these companies out and take them through accelerators so they're able to get to their next funding stage. who have more exit opportunities, who provide follow-on investments, and also, better profit margins. So the membership, of course, for the non-investors, you can still earn status and participate on our monthly events, quarterly events. For the investors, there are a few things that we'll present to you guys as well, with more private pitches, more events, and this VIP party. So the investment process, the website is still not up to date, so we're working on that right now. But you can fill out the form on the website once that's up. We'll meet with a few members of the team to understand, the startup is something that we'll be looking forward to invest in. You can sign the paperwork, we transfer the funds, and then events, and everything should run smoothly and fast. We want to be a company that disperses the money for you guys to get into the accelerator and to go through accelerator with money in bank, so you're able to implement the things that you want to especially. And that's it for future funders.
Neither of us are Spencer Elliott. Spencer couldn't be here at this time, but
so we're involved in future funders as well. That is direct contact to Spencer Elliott, and again, you can reach out to me, Scott Hill, as well. But if you are interested, we encourage you to scan the QR code and get in touch with us here at Future Funders. Thank you. Any questions?
What are some of the qualifications that you guys look for to be part of your investment?
As far as startups? You got an idea? We would like to see a little bit of traction. If we're going to invest at the $100,000 level, we would like to see $1 million valuation. So some traction, something put together. Whether you have your MVP, really out there, it's something that we can work with. But we're not looking for something that's overly established. Again, this is at the friends and family. This is at that pre-seed kind of level. So we're wanting to give you that first check so that you can really put in the work that you need to do to get your idea out there into the water and really test it.
So I can, I'll just start. Okay. I'm next, right? Okay, you introduce yourself? Yeah.
Well, give me a lot of time. No. I don't know. I do encourage everyone to reach out and connect with me. I'm very involved in town, and if you want to get introduced to anybody who's in my network or who might be in my network, I encourage you to connect with me, and I will introduce you to anybody that you want, whether in it or not. So I'm very much a connector and very much about community. This is really my passion, and both of these ventures, Proximity and Future Funders, will play into that. And so I encourage you to reach out to me. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. I'm gonna set up the laptop real quick, and I think I'm speaking next. So I'll introduce myself in just 1 second.
Okay, the reason why you want to come back to the LED wall is because you're going to hear a lot of really fun stuff. We are having a game jam. It is a secret game jam. It is happening now. And it actually, you will be able to play and see the games tomorrow. He's going to tell you more information, but this place is a wealth of all kinds of cool technology that you guys get to play for. So you guys should come down, those that are all around.
All right, guys. So I want to
officially welcome everybody today to the Melrose Center. My name is Juan. I am, how you doing? I am an instructor here at the Melrose Center. If you guys are here for the very first time and you don't know about the Melrose Center, what we are primarily a co-working space here at the Melrose Center. We give you guys access to resources that you can use to work on your own creative projects here. Any sorts of projects, digital media project, video, audio, photography. We have a game development lab, fiber arts, so we give you access to sewing machines and 3D printers, motion capture suits, VR headsets, 4K cameras, a full working audio studio, video studio, sound booth, and with your Orange County Library card, access to all of the resources is free. You don't have to pay anything. You just come in. You do an orientation at the Melrose Center. You learn about all the resources that are available, and you learn about how to gain access to some of the more expensive equipment. You want to make sure that you know how to use it before you access it so you don't break it. And we also host events throughout the year. Right now, at the same time that Isabella is doing the mega meetup, we're running a game jam. So the game jam started. The game jam. Hey guys, how you doing? These are jammers right here walking in and out of this room. So this is the jammers lounge, and we have food provided for them and everything while they're here. Thank you to Ariana right here sitting in the front. Did I say it right? It's a secret sponsor. Not anymore, right? So the game jammers, they're here making a video game over the weekend, using our resources. They started Thursday night, and they have until noon tomorrow to make their games. Now, the really special thing about this game jam that we're doing is that at 1 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to actually have another event here that I want you guys to come back and check it out. It's called the Orlando Gaming Expo. It runs from 1 to 5 o'clock. We're going to have every single one of the games that we made in the game jam on a booth, and you guys can come and play the game and vote for the games, and you can help us select the winner of the game jam. All right. The first place winner team wins $500. Second place winner wins $300, and third place wins $200. And you guys can help us do that. Play the games, talk to the developers, give them feedback about how they, what their game was like and everything like that. So come and check us out tomorrow once again. Yes.
On the guest
Yeah, everybody that comes to the Gaming Expo can vote for the games. They're going to have some judges as well that are going to judge the games as well to get some points. And that's how we're going to select the winners of the Game Jam for this year. So, but besides that, like I mentioned before, we have a ton of resources and events that we run here at the Melrose Center. So if any of you guys have a grand idea of some type of event that you would like to host or create, you can reach out to us at the Melrose Center. This is our website right here. And you can see a lot of the services that we offer here. We have industry professionals that work at the Melrose Center that also teach on how to use all of the resources that we have available here through classes that we schedule throughout the month. So if you want to learn how to use our Blackmagic 4K, I think it's 12K cameras, we have classes on that. If you want to learn how to use the VR headset and make a video game using the VR headset, we have classes on that as well. So check out our class calendar. So what you can do is on our website, you go to classes, which will give you access to our link tree. And then depending on what type of industry you're interested on, you can check out the calendar that's coming out. If you're interested on video games, like I mentioned before, I'm the video game instructor. And I've set up a course tracks. If you go to services and you go to game development, and then you check out on the game development page here, you can see all of the classes that I offer here. I teach classes on Blender, Unity, Unreal, and Substance 3D Painter. Okay? And more, and more to come. So you can see all the classes, and you can check out the schedule here on the website as well. So yeah, come check us out. If you don't have an Orange County Library card, it's free to get those as long as you live in Orange County, or you either own property or you rent. So
Reciprocal cards, you can get them if you're in another county.
if you're in another county, you also get they can get a reciprocal card, and or if you are not able to get a reciprocal card, you can also buy into our system as well. So we have fee cards as well. And when you buy into the system, you get access to everything like a regular library card holder as well. Okay?
All right.
All right. Any questions? Yes.
So I host a tech meetup. Is this space available for like tech meetups?
Yeah.
Tell them what time.
You can reserve this screen right here. You can have it here. We can set up if it's a big thing like this. We can set up the same thing. I'll give you my business card so we can talk about it. Yeah.
You have to do it in library hours, though.
Library hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Anything else? Any other questions?
You should tell them what day you're off.
Oh, Friday and Saturday? No, I don't know.
Monday.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. We actually are going to be hosting the game jam once a year. So once a year around this time, towards the end of February. So a good time. Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for lending me your ears for a few minutes. I'll give it back to Isabella right here. This is yours.
All right, Matthew Hogan.
I don't have everybody here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I still got 15 minutes before.
All right.
2:45. Thank you.
All right, so I'll tell you guys a joke then while we wait. Yeah. What do you call a basketball game between two Spanish friends? What? One on one. I'm allowed to say that because I want. Yeah, man, you're close.
Okay, we are going to have our next startup presenter coming up here now. Just so you guys know, this is Mateus, I messed up your last name, Delano, and he's going to tell you about Rocky. Rocky, that is his new startup.
Hello everyone. Thank you for being here. Hi, hello. I'm going to introduce you to Rocky. Rocky is the AI that tools for your business. I'm going to explain a few things about the company and about product and how it works. Basically, we have a vision. We believe that in a few years from now, most of the processes will be connected through AI from different platforms. So people will not buy directly or think that they are actually buying it. AI will be interacting to each other, will be learning, and will be solving the issues for us and buying things for us like an agent for So we have a vision that is building maybe and be ready for that moment. And now we are on our stage one, and we build an agent, an AI agent that can answer most of the questions about the commerce, store the news, return, and has an intrinsic model that can learn from users' voice on the website. Basically, this is running on some e-commerce sites and some customers that are using it for integration or nurturing. We can set it up really fast and really easy, and you can learn in a millisecond all information that you have with the company or the college or the service, and be able to reply to all of the questions that users that go to your website or send you phone or whatever have about the company. On the second stage, we are going to be focused on AI sales. So we are going to be able to sell directly through our platform. So you can put chat in your website directly, and all the transactions could be completed directly through the chat without having to do it directly to the home page or anything like it. We're adding voice, on the third stage. Because we believe that this is what is next. Images and voice. People are trying to see the products and interacting and talking and asking questions about the product, whether the voice, normally, on the phone, interact with other people in the real world. And in the fourth stage, we are going to be focusing on AI to interaction. When we get to there, we'll be ready to have our platform talking to other platforms to be directly without human interaction. Today we are on our MVP. We currently have 6 active partners in the US and Latin America. And we have actually 3 paying customers. We just launched a few weeks ago. And we're a small team of 5 people. Within 6 months, we'll be working on new integrations on a pattern for algorithm. We built a very solid algorithm on the lab that is the reason why we can provide excellent results with the information uploaded in a very easy and fast way. Within 12 months, we are going to be focusing on the commercial growth, adding the voice features, and starting to work on the AI sales. And within 24 months, we believe that the focus will be the agentic mode, which can interact with different platforms at the same time. Like, for example, in agentic mode, you can ask somebody to the chat, and the chat can turn around and search in the inventory, search on a calendar to book an appointment, and do many things on your behalf, also on your behalf, to be most appropriate. The product has many features. One of the features that we like is that we have multiple agents, and that allows people, like, for example, create different agents for different branches or different product lines. One for customers is a car dealership, and they have insurance on one side, financing on the other side, sales on the other, and each area has a different agent. We are 100% in another language. That means that our chat is not something that you click on the different options and then have to go back and forward. You just talk to it, and it will guide you through, and it will help you, and it will give you all the information that is required. We build custom implementation of this one, and we can redirect to humans whenever it's necessary. One of the things that I really like is we build what we call the customizable personality. And this is something that I haven't seen in many other platforms. What we have is the ability to change how the chat or the agent interact with the user. We have, as I mentioned, different industries in which we are working. In some cases, you need somebody reliable, somebody who tells us with a lot of knowledge about the product, about the service, somebody who is very formal and guide you through the process. And in some other cases, you need a cool person who can make a joke and guide you through in a more relaxed way. So you can set everything up from our platform. So you actually are giving every agent a different personality in order to be more accurate and more precise, and it can transmit whatever your company needs to show. Currently, you can read File's website, and we have some information with e-commerce as well. We have automatic triggers. For example, somebody is on an e-commerce site and browsing, I don't know, different type of hats. You can just pop in and say, hey, I noticed that you're browsing this hat. Maybe you like this, or maybe you like that. Or some other customers browse this clothes, have bought this or that. And that can improve dramatically the chance of getting a conversion. Another thing that we have is lead validation, which is a very good thing, which is sending leads to the process, and you will talk to them to figure out if they are serious leads or someone who just click or start a communication just because they wanted to have some more information that was not in your product. We are integrated with WhatsApp, and we have an internal version that has user level permission. So you upload a lot of information to the platform, but you can then decide if the chat is going to use some specific files to reply to some people and some specific files to reply to some other people. And you can do that in the user level. About the business, our business model is based on a monthly subscription, and we offer basic agent that can work 24/7, and it goes starting 15 cents per hour of work. So it's really affordable, and it can be very useful for companies that have an issue with communication, or want to have a reliable system to communicate in real time with the customers, or even internally inside of the company. We are a team of 2 founders. We have a bigger team of developers that myself and a former head of marketing of Inidenomicon, which is one of the biggest e-commerce companies in all Latin America, with over 3,000 people in the company. And I built and sold Relevance, which is a digital marketing agency that was acquired by Inidenomicon a few years ago. Ignacio is my co-founder. He's a very experienced developer with over 15 years of developer full stack. He's a very versatile guy. He built Project Zen, which is an open source. We are pretty below open source. And it has over 4 million tools on it. It's a really good project. And well, basically that's pretty much it. What else? If you are interested in learning more about the company, about what we're doing, about how to help, how to invest, or how to hire Rafi, you can simply scan the code and contact us. Thank you. Any question?
So, I missed some of it. I don't want to ask that one. I know that you've already gone and done some customer discovery.
Yeah.
How have you been able to find who the perfect customer is for you?
Well, that's a very tough question because we are in that process. When we started, we focused mostly on commerce because we have a lot of experience in that area. But when we started when we launched the product, some of the customers that came to us were from a consulting background. The first 3 customers was one was a consulting firm, the other one was university, and the other one was motorcycle dealership. Yeah. So it was crazy because everyone has different requests.
but we figured out that we can accommodate everything very easy. And we were very scared when we launched it. The first prototype was crazy because there were a lot of things that we have tested many times. That one thing is when you test yourself, and the other thing is when the market tests your product, and usually you find out things that you never thought about. But we went, we launched a product that it went really well. For example, in the case of it's more than university, I would say it's some sort of technical college. What they do is they focus on lower level students, and they provide different type of courses and training and everything. And there are a lot of people who contact them and ask questions and request information that they are not ready to go to that stage yet. And one of the complaints from the sales people is that they got a message every hour, and they were wasting a lot of time replying all over the same thing once and again. So once we plugged this in, they became very happy because the answers were really good. And what they are doing now is that they run online campaign, they send the traffic to Rappi. We deal with the conversations, and salespeople go through the transcript and say, okay, this guy has a potential to become a student, and they contact it. And this other is just buzzing around, but it's never going to become a student. So they are not wasting time on answering the same questions all over again. They are only focusing on the people who have potential to become afterwards. So we are focusing on that. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so our next one, I have to wait and see. Where is Matt Hogan? I'm looking for Matt Hogan. Matt Hogan. Matt Hogan. I see him. He's on the other side of the room. I know it's not time yet. I would get Robert Katz. Okay. All right. Robert Katz. So Robert is the CEO of the World Innovation Network, and he focuses a lot on things that are in space. And how I have met him is I go to things that are in space also, space conferences. So Robert.
Wow, thank you so much, Isabella. Thank you so much. So, everybody, a ginormous thank you for the amazing Isabella. Please, everybody for Isabella. Is there anybody on this planet that's more amazing than Isabella? Bringing these communities together, bringing people together, bringing ideas together, bringing thoughts together, and making all this amazing magic happen. So we could not be more thankful to Isabella and the amazing, incredible community that she has created and allowed us all to be here. So I am so grateful and thankful for her. I'm thankful for amazing hosts that we have here. Come on up, sir. Come on up.
Juan.
Come on, Juan.
Okay, so I sent it to the
Look at this
Isabella
amazing gentleman here
Morris.
who's hosting us at this incredible facility.
I don't know. He pulled this up.
Could you, I mean, yeah,
I don't have that
he's
email.
just brilliant.
So
He's halfway there, but he wakes upward in brilliance. So this is his home. He invited us into his home as just the wonderful gentleman that he is. And we thank you so much, and we hope that we can always come back. Yes. When Isabel says come here, I come here. I just do it. I do whatever I'm told because I know that I'm going to meet amazing, amazing people, and I have. And we are just very honored and privileged to be able to take part in anything that her community is involved in. And the amazing people that I've met here today tops those even at the game gym, and which I thought was just out of this world and really, really sensational. And congratulations to all of you for being part of this community. And I am honored to be a part and add my little teeny twist on that, which, as she said, is space. We are so, now, who here wants to go to space? Wow. Well,
terrified.
and for those that don't want to, I see you didn't raise your hand, it's too late. Like you're already there. Because we're already in space. We're on Earth, and Earth is a planet, and this planet is in space. So we're already in space. And everything we do has to do with space. Every move we make, every breath we take is impacting not just the Earth environment, but space. And we do so many projects, so many initiatives in space because there's no better way to look at, to measure, to observe, and to take care of Earth than from space. Right? Because you can't do it when you're in it or on it because you can't kind of see literally the big picture. But when we're up, circling around and looking down, we see the whole picture. And we can measure, we can mark, we can observe, we can do observation, we can do communication, we can do exploration, we can do habitation, we can do all those things by getting the bird's eye view that satellites and rockets allow us to do. And the more we understand how the heavens connect down to us, the more we understand how we fit in. And that helps us understand our mission and our purpose better. So space is something that everybody's involved in here. There isn't a single person here, a single company. I mean, all of this wonderful gaming here is providing the simulation and the stimulation that we need to be able to understand space exploration and to be able to do training and to be able to do scenarios. So all these opportunities that all of you help provide. So the way we do this is, the way I do it is very simple. We have all these amazing community members, like Isabella, like Kanal, like Juan, so many, like Hunter, that have their communities that they've built and worked hard. And what I do is I help bring them into the space community. Or if they're already there, bring them even more by giving them resources and information and experts dealing with space so they can in turn deliver those to you. And also help cross-connect different communities interested in space because space is hard. Space is a little bit more involved than some of the other areas that we go into. It's not its own sector, it's really every sector. So we work on connecting those together across the city, the county, the state, the country, and the world. And that's what we do at World Innovation Network. So how do we do that? Well, these are just some of the many community members we have. We have nonprofits, NGOs, as we are. We're a nonprofit NGO, just like Inidenomicon. We connect R&D, chambers of commerce, industry, economic development organizations, small and large businesses, and universities. We connect these all together so we all can communicate, we can collaborate, we can cooperate, we can make and connect. But we can't connect if we don't collaborate, communicate, and cooperate. And we bring all those together. So what are some examples of some of the things that we do? Well, funny you should ask. One of the programs I'm going to introduce you all to, invite you all to, is our Space Tank event. So what do you think Space Tank is? Anybody want to take a guess? Yes, sir. Sorry?
You said like Shark Tank.
Exactly, Shark Tank for space. How'd you know that? You're just so smart. Yeah. Shark Tank for space companies. So we focus on a Shark Tank event only for space companies. And we're doing this in California. We invite all of you to be part of that, all of you to apply, all of you to bring your solutions to space problems so that you can be on stage in front of 4,000 people and be able to be a part of this event. So we let everybody here. I'll give a link to Isabella, and she'll post it in her community, and we invite everybody to be there. Last year, we partnered with the Aldrin Family Foundation to give the Global Innovation Award. And this was in honor of Buzz Aldrin and presented by his son, Andy Aldrin, on stage. This year we have a couple of surprises. It's a whole week of events with entrepreneurs from all over the world. So this event, their second event, is a global event that is, how many countries do you, so I was asked to do the NASA International Space Apps Challenge. So this is a global hackathon that's, but not just like a tech hackathon. Some of the solutions are to write poetry, do art. It's really for everybody from artists to astronauts, everybody from musicians to mathematicians, and everybody from rock stars to rocket scientists. Because the problems in space are so challenging, but also so inspiring that we don't just want rocket science and engineers to work on them. We want everybody to have the opportunity to join us and bring your expertise, bring your contributions, so we can all work on these together. Because only when we work on these in a multifunctional, multidisciplinary, and multi-approach way are we going to be able to solve these most challenging problems. So that's why consider this an open invitation to engage in helping us solve these problems. Because we want all of you. Because space isn't just for rocket scientists, space is for everybody. As a matter of fact, there's a place in space for every base. Okay, that was a warm-up, so let's try it again. Everybody, ready together? There's a place in space for every base. Exactly, so I want you to remember that. I want you to join us at the NASA International Space Apps Challenge, where you will be able to bring your expertise, whatever it is, whether it's math, music, art, astronomy, poetry, or plastics, it doesn't matter. Bring your expertise so we can work together, collaborate as a community to solve these hard problems, both here on Earth, for the world, for all of us. I'm going to give you a teaser. This is a video that Amazing Jamie from World Innovation Network, a proud Embry-Riddle alum, produced for us to invite you to come join us.
It might be my mic out or the output is not right.
It's actually not playing, so there's no danger of the audio not working.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe the network connection.
There we go.
Which is fine. So we need all of you from all backgrounds, all interests. All passions. For 2 days, you have 20 challenges presented to you by NASA and the Space Force in all different fields involving space. From medical to emergency response, all specialties, from human performance to resiliency to science and technology, whatever is your passion. You'll be joining 280,000 other explorers throughout the world. Because there's a place in space, come on, for every face. So join us. We'll be at Cape Canaveral. And these are some of the people that have supported us in the past. But most importantly, we're proud to have Isabella's and her amazing community supporting us now and in the future. All right, thank you so much again, everybody, and thank you for the honor to be here.
Oh, no, don't close it.
Okay, I have to start all over again because I can't do anything without shout out.
So I think we have, it is our almost last person that will be coming up. I know Spencer Elliott will be coming, he's here at 4, and he's part of the Plug and Play group. I know we have another group that's going to be coming up, that's Matt Hogan, and they're going to be talking about Unreal Engine Meetup. Ready? Okay, we're ready.
Afternoon, everybody. I am Matthew Hogan, founder and CEO of M3D Technologies. I have a couple other people up here with me this afternoon, so I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Arian Ficky with the VR ARA, and also I'm the founder of 001. I'm Dr. Darius Nidoska. I'm a professor of game design and development at Jacksonville University and an owner of the XR Studio Perseus.
Hi, I'm Dave Vans, the owner of Soio and the Orlando Life.
We have two other members that aren't with us here today, but the reason why we're up here before you is kind of make the announcement that we are actually getting ready to start the Unreal Orlando chapter again. Primarily due to the fact that we actually have a big event that's happening this year in Central Florida, which is Unreal Fest. This is the first time that Unreal Fest is going to be coming to Orlando, but we wanted to give the Unreal developers a chance to kind of show their stuff at this convention that will be happening from June 2nd to June 6th, I believe. So that being said, we're looking to get the chapter up and running starting this month. Actually, I can't believe it's already March. But in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing our first meetup at OMG Labs. But this is not just a place for people just kind of get together and hang out. We actually have a purpose and we have a driving force behind us that it's focused on developers finding a way to grow and also to establish themselves as leaders within the industry itself. I'll take.
Hi guys. So this is really exciting news, and I want to say first of all, our creator community here in Central Florida is unlike any other, and I know that we have individuals all over the United States and beyond that have taken notice of the incredible talent here. And the thing to remember is that what empowers creators are having the necessary tools they need to make the things, right? And build us into the future with the 3D internet. And so we are so excited about standing up this chapter. We know it's just one more superpower that will allow us to connect the dots and empower creators to do the incredible things. And why we chose the Unreal organization to highlight Central Florida for this initiative is that you guys might know I have a history. I worked at Unity, so I know all the tools, right? And so you might think, why is this important? But why it is important is that Unreal and what they've done is they've created a culture, right? It's more than just a tool. And so we know that when you are able to harness the power of the creator, give them the tools they need, and get them to organize and collaborate, amazing things happen. So the focus of this chapter will be really about collaboration and support, providing the tools, but partnering. And we have a number of partners that we will be announcing over the next, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks. And so stay tuned. We're really excited. And it's public-private collaboration. And we're really excited about that. So yeah, that's really pretty much it. So stay tuned.
On top of that, the reason why we're doing it here in Orlando is because of what's happening here in Central Florida. Yes, Orlando is known for theme parks, and yes, we are a tourist destination, but we're also the modeling simulation capital of the world. In an 80-mile square radius of Central Florida, not only is there entertainment, but we have a huge medical presence. We have a huge DoD presence. We are literally launching rockets into space 45 minutes from here. So Central Florida has a lot to offer, not just as an entertainment hub, but we are an innovative hub. And all of these developers that are in this community are contributing to those industries. So from modeling simulation to medical to education to architectural design, they are all here in Central Florida, and we want to have a place to bring all of those developers together. We also want to tell those stories about these companies and those developers. And that's why we have city leaders like Dave. Dave, you come on.
What do you want me to say?
Dave has been telling the story,
Yeah.
and now he's continuing to do the important things. So he's already been doing it. He's going to help us keep that moving forward.
Yeah, the most important thing about Orlando is the people that live here. Because without you guys and everyone else who's being innovative and building out the future, none of that exists. And so the chapter that we're building, we want to be very human-centric. We want to tell the stories of the people that are out there that are creating, that are building, and really bring it all together into that collaborative atmosphere.
It's the arrows. There you go.
Beyond just, again, getting together, we also want to have the ability to have people who have never been exposed to Unreal have an opportunity to understand what the game engine is capable of. So outside of being able to tell the stories or having people to actually make connections for job opportunities or the industry itself, we want to have an education component to that as well. So Dr. Daria can actually kind of talk on that.
Sure. Our chapter is going to be an infrastructure for developers and game designers to come in and learn things, to get the skills they need to continue their creative processes. So we will have a series of workshops for different levels to invite that talent to our chapter, to our community. So it will be starting from foundations of Unreal Engine to advanced game mechanics and the latest advancements in with the Unreal Engine as well.
So while we're also building this community and bringing people together and educating them, we also want to have the ability for developers to apply their knowledge or their expertise on whatever level it is. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're actually going to bring Kanal. Could you step up real quick?
You're up.
We want to have the ability for this community to be involved in, not only just kind of just having fun and developing things, but we want to bring meaning and purpose behind this. So having leaders like Kanal and IndieNomicon involved brings that aspect to it.
Hi, I just came here, rolled in with my family, and then was called up here. Yeah, this community has been wonderful. It's the center of the world for, I think, gaming and simulation and really all things 3D. And really where Unreal has grown from maybe just being games to being so many more things. So really excited about what has been growing with the game jams that IndieNomicon has been doing, where it's been touching multiple different industries. We have Mega Health Jam for healthcare use cases, Armed Forces, Indie Galactic Space Jam for space simulation, and All Hallows Jam for scary things and for themed entertainment. And Unreal is going to weave into each and every single one of those things, and you really need to know that technology, and you really need to have a network and a community around you so you can do the best kind of work. And it's not only going to help just for like creating really amazing things or really amazing games, it's going to change major industries. It's going to change the world. Anybody that has anything to do with healthcare or theme parks or space or military or automotive or any of these things, they need the technologies that Unreal is providing. And the people that are going to do that is all of you. So it's really important that all of you get involved, come to the events, come to the jams, and get involved with Unreal Orlando.
I also wanted to introduce, if you didn't know, Isabella. She's been working so hard with the IndieNomicon team. Yes, and also she's with Employers for Change. That is her organization. And she comes from education background. When we talk about the workforce of the future and opportunities and what the developers' roles will be supporting us, right, in all these different domains, she has a lot of expertise. I'd like for her to say a couple of words because she supports this community so strongly.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have a game that is built in Unreal Engine, and I am a fan of Unreal. So I wear their shirts. I can honestly tell you I think it's one of the best platforms out there. The artwork is amazing. And I cannot be more happy to see they're having a presence here. Thank you.
So outside of, as we made mention of what's here in our own backyard, these are just some of the associations that support Unreal as well. So a lot of developers who have either graduated from UCF or graduated from Full Sail or have basically been self-taught have been working in some of these companies and associations that you see behind me. So with the announcements that we have of not only the chapter starting, in about 2 weeks we're going to be having our first meetup, but at the end of May, we're going to be having a game jam, Unreal Game Jam at Full Sail University. It is at the end of that game jam, those winners will have a chance to showcase their game on the show, on the expo floor at Unreal Fest. So that's happening June 2nd through the 6th. This is some of the things that we want to do as community and chapter leaders, is to bring these opportunities to the community. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, actually, there's one next Sunday.
And where's that at?
Full Sail, which I signed up.
Okay, fantastic. So the one that we're going to be doing in conjunction with Full Sail University will be at the end of May. So that'll be the one just before Unreal Fest, the 2nd through the 6th.
It's not Hall of Fame. It's week after the Hall of Fame.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you for that. Any questions about the association or the chapter itself, or you guys have any expectations, or is this something that you might be interested in participating?
Oh yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
You're saying about the day. What's the occasion again?
So Full Sail University is already going to be hosting an Unreal Game Jam there at the end of May. And because of Inidenomicon and the chapter leaders up here, we're actually going to be tying into that in preparation for Unreal Fest. Yeah, I think we got quite a few graduates in here as well. So, all right, well, that's exciting. Any other questions? No? All right, well, we just kind of wanted to introduce ourselves. We're missing one person. Jack's not here with us today. He's part of the Florida High Tech Corridor and Centralence, but these are your chapter leaders for the Unreal Orlando chapter, and we're going to be hoping to have a huge impact over the next 90 days before the actual festival taking place in June. So thank you very much, guys.
Awesome.
So how do I get
So we're going to take a little break. There will be one more community leader that will be coming up. That's Spencer Elliott. He is not here in the building yet, so he's supposed to be arriving around 4:15. In the meantime, please visit all of our exhibitors and just get to know them, see what's going on. Thank you. Look for around 4. I'll make another announcement.
Set the auto now. We're going to be making those announcements. Is that auto? Did you have that set to auto? I know it's something for It looked like, from my perspective, it was such a wide shot that.
But yeah, I know one of their game is going to be wholesale. So if that's something I need to kind of care for, do a challenge. That's it.
Believe me, I was confused. I was hanging on my phone. I was waiting to be like, I'm going to go take pictures.
I got here a little bit late.
By the way, I love that you got the pros.
Information for signing up for them.
I bought the pros and I returned them because I couldn't look at the chapter. If we just went through our starting chapter. No, I thought to be putting on the newsletter. I use those social platforms. When I tried to pull a second recording off of that. So we're using the video platform. So yeah, I was like, okay, the ones on the other. So that's what I gotta do. So it'll be LinkedIn, Facebook. Okay. So those are the social platforms, but just look up Unreal Orlando chat. Or you can okay. And it charges too.
Yeah, that was the only charges too. Is it?
I had the charging box. I bought them for one night and returned them because I was like, I can't buy them.
Yeah, they actually saved me the first night. I was sitting in that night. UCF basketball was there, and I was like recording them. It was like doing all the things. And I get done with the interview. Yeah, so we're so that is right now. So we're just
I have one picture, 2 pictures. You might be in it.
Yeah, I think yeah. Well, I'm real fast as a yeah, so the game jam, it's at least I know what I'm doing. So we're going to do this stuff because some people want to learn, right? And they maybe have other choices, so we'll find out.
I think I already showed you. I've already showed you this week.
Well, sometimes
Yes. Okay, speaking of Unreal, yeah, it's my favorite tool as well. Oh no, I did keep printing. Okay. I don't have the funds for
That's fantastic.
Because I have background in martial arts, so yes, I use myself watching the ones. Okay. But sometimes I use tutorials from YouTube.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I did Taekwondo for 9.5 years, and it's been probably 20 years since I've done it. But this is awesome.
I'll be right back.
So do you have any games that you've actually developed as well? Like I would love to see your library. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is like that's fantastic.
Okay.
Started off with a DJ, and then I was like, oh, this is cool. Let me add this. Oh, this is cool. Let me add this. And just kept rolling up. And now I have like this giant
Oh, by the way,
Let me get this back over to save it real quick and I'll be right back. Is that okay? I'll be right back.
Are you leveraging any other science as well? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I'm not and you play this orange alien and have a sword and fight just live and then I made this one. This version was 4.27. Yeah, the version I'm working in right now is version 5.4. I would like to go to 5.5, but at least right now I'm moving on to
Yes. Hey Matt, we want to grab a photo. Let me grab that photo real quick. I'll be right with you guys. Actually, if we go back to the slide, yeah.
Well, that's when the gentleman could be used. Did you find Monica? Are you looking for Monica?
No, she's good. She's over there. We're all good.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to catch up with her. She was grabbing some food.
Do you want water or anything?
I'm good right now. I brought some stuff in from earlier. And thank you for helping.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it. How are you doing?
My knees hurt.
Do you have anything? Did you eat? Have you done something?
Yeah, I got some candy.
Okay. Fuel of champions. Hey man, how you doing? It has been a while since last year.
Comfortable shoes.
I've been good, man. I've been good. Just busy with everything as usual. Awesome, man. I'm doing good. We're all set up over there. We're doing good.
juggling a bunch of stuff as usual. The design company's still going good. You know, publishing company's going good. Working with that stuff. Got a couple partnerships I'm working with. So yeah, I'm doing really good, man. How about you?
I'm alright.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm trying to.
I understand that, dude. Trust me. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Trust me, it's rough for everyone right now.
You're a publishing company.
Yeah, I don't have a card right now. We're just getting ready to launch. It's called Sound Comics, and so that's with Steven. Yeah, Steven's the founder. I'm now the chief creative director for the company. So I work with them. I've been consulting with them for 4 years, helping to kind of get it all run. And last year I just came on as an owner, so we're part of that now. We're looking to launch our first book in October this year. We got some other stuff we're working on marketing and everything, and getting that all together. So yeah, got some investment. And we're just kind of working that through. So yeah, definitely working with it. Yeah.
So eventually, if I want to pitch a story.
Yeah, absolutely. Eventually the goal is we're in our growth as a company. We're gonna have a third party. We're gonna do third party publishing for people. So if they have IPs and things they want to work on, we can actually be involved in that way as well. Like yourself, if you got something you want to put out. We're definitely gonna be doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Good seeing you. Good talking to you. Thank you.
I think now's the time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Honestly, I could send you the questions. Okay. And if you can get them as soon as possible, I don't want before days. Okay. We're on the live. I'll send you the questions tonight. Okay. Get them when you can, even if you just sit around. Maybe I can do something with Sunday after. Okay. That would be cool for me. Okay. Just give me that. Perfect. Give me all those. Okay. Yeah. Don't overshare. Here's all the 28 people I see. Reach out to 28. Give me one or two of the top ones. Okay. The leader of the winner. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll do that. No problem. Okay. Yeah, send me that question. Yeah. You got my actually, what if I give you my email? Have my email? I'm pretty sure I do. My email is like my best way to be able to teach you. Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Hi. I've been working with. When I heard that, I was like, I just wanted to talk to you because, I'm a real. I just right now I just finished this week building the final.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So I just wanted to ask you about like the classes and stuff. What are you doing? What do you teach us? Just teaching the principles or doing advanced?
Not advanced. No, I don't get to advanced. Some of the things I talk about can be considered advanced to some people, but I think that they're basics. But it's more character modeling, texturing, animation, but it's mainly character based. So
probably like weakest area.
yeah.
Yeah, because I usually like weapons and like objects. I do like whole environments. I created this tiny little things, rendered it with all meshes now and put it on the
Okay, I was gonna say you really model it on real.
Okay, what now?
That's another Autodesk, right? Right now it's another Autodesk program.
By the way, Isabella, this March 10th is a career fair.
The what?
The career fair. So it's on March 10th.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a Hall of Fame.
Oh, I don't get to come to that one. I don't get to come to Hall of Fame things. You got to be a student to go to Hall of Fame. If it's a career thing, I'll get invited. But if it's anything else that's Hall of Fame, I don't get to come. I asked. Yeah.
Okay, next one.
No, I asked about coming to Hall of Fame, and that's closed to students. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the next one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll get to come to the next one. Yeah, I always talk with Sydney and.
March 9th is a game to already sign up for.
Okay.
First prize win it in less than a year.
You know, if you're in our Discord, you can go and share that in the local events. You can do that. Anything that's in there, you can go and, because it's open, you guys can do that.
But this one, I think it's for wholesale online students.
Yeah. Yeah, then that won't work. Yeah. I know they're doing a lot more game jams. And Brandon, somebody was looking for you earlier today.
Like,
Honestly, when I saw you here, I went, who was looking for you? They asked if you were here, and I don't know if you...
I got here at like